Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, July 9th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, Cash App, $ ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. Quaker State 400 live at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Who will win today? I'm trying to figure out how to get everything kind of situated. I thought that there would be maybe a chance that we would be able to have this on the Peacock network for people that maybe have changed their cable or their satellite, but it's only through NBC. It looks like an NBC Sports app, unless you watch it on Nascar.com. So if anyone else has any other suggestions or any other ideas for me, please let me know. Because I definitely would want to be able to kind of tap in any way that I can. I'm going to go through a couple other options here and see what we got. But I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And we should be getting going here relatively pretty shortly. I'm going through some of the in-car cameras and whatnot. So let's see here. We got Battle Cam. I got to see which one that I would want here. All right, we got Battle Cam. We got Aerial Cam. We got all scans and then the PRN radio. Let me see. All right. All right. Daniel in the building. Corey LaJoy, yeah. Christopher Bell, yeah, absolutely. Chase obviously won it last year, so this could be his coming out party, even though he hasn't really been that good since coming back. I mean, there's been some, top 5 finishes, but I'm not sure if there's really been any race where it's been him and another driver, and he just couldn't get it done. So, third, fourth, fifth, somewhere in there, but Chase needs to end up getting a win to be able to separate himself from all those other names. So we'll see kind of, where it goes. Ross Chastain has finished very, very high within the last few Atlanta races as well. So I really wouldn't be shocked, if we have a Ross Chastain win or a Chase Elliott win. We'll see where it kind of goes. But I am ready to go. I'm trying to get this all situated here to figure out which one I want to look at. So I got the PRN radio, and then I got it on NASCAR.com. I mean, usually when I'm watching, I'm gonna be watching from the Peacock, or when I had the the Ziply and whatnot, but I had to end up making changes. But I'm hoping with this particular PRN plus the camera angle that they offer through NASCAR.com. Unless there's a streaming site, anything I look for, Peacock isn't allowing it since it's through USA, not specifically NBC. So it's really NBC, the NBC Sports app, which I don't have access to, or watching it here through NASCAR.com, which will give me some different camera angles, and then I get the PRN. Obviously radio. So at least I'm going to be able to get some audio and video, unless someone else has any ideas for me to help me out. So, yeah, and it should be pretty good. Like I said, this season has been maybe not as unpredictable as last year, but we have had a lot of, different winners in races. So we'll kind of see where it goes, and we're going to be running under the lights, which is pretty cool. That's why I chose to do this particular race instead of doing the Mariner game that was on at 11 a.m. and go Mariners. We ended up beating the Astros 3 out of 4, above 500 going into the break, and we have a winnable slate at home after the All-Star break, and we're not that far behind. I think they said the Rangers lost 11 out of the last 16. So we're not that far back from, a wild card spot. So as long as we, finish strong, we'll see where it goes. So congratulations to the M's, obviously, that I watched earlier today. And then I've just been spending time with Paisley. So I was about to message you earlier this morning, but I didn't want to jinx it when I saw it was 3-0 in like the first inning or second inning. I was like, hell, the last time I did that, right, I ended up jinxing you, and then they ended up losing. So I figured I would wait until, right now or after the game was over to be able to reach out and see what's going on. So how are you doing? Let's get to 100 and donos. Cards won again. It's a miracle. Everyone's team won. Padres, Cardinals, and Mariners, huh? And I know a lot of people didn't give us a lot of chances against the Astros, but it shows you we can match up with anyone if we can just, get strong hitting, to match with our pitching. And, our pitching staff is one of the best in the world right now. We just need to be able to get the hitting to match. And I'm not saying that the Mariners are even making the playoffs. I'm not even saying that we're going to hit the wild card. But I do believe that there is a shot for us to compete late, with like teams like the Blue Jays and the Astros at the end of the year if we can stay healthy. But if anyone else has any other ideas for me on how to be able to enjoy this race, either through NBC, Sports app, NBC. Like I said, I got a battle cam and I got an aerial cam, through NASCAR.com, and I got PRN radio on. But as far, and I got in-car cameras that I can get in, but usually when you do the in-car cameras, there's a lot of like static and, the cars jumping around, and there's a lot of distortion, in the car if you're watching it from that camera. So I'm not really sure if that would be the best idea for a stream and whatnot. So, they don't have any pitching. They'll be back, next year or the year after. A lot of teams have had, failures this year. The Mets, the Padres, the Cardinals. I don't think anyone assumed that those three teams would be as good or necessarily bad this year as they were good, or decently good last year, right? And then you had teams like the Diamondbacks, right? No one expected that, right? You're getting the Rays and the Rangers. No one expected that. The Orioles, no one expected that. So, I mean, there's going to be definitely some surprises, that are out there, but, it's baseball. There's a long, long season. So good momentum. Good to hear. It seems like some of the teams that were fringe wild card teams, are at least trying to finish strong, and kind of go from there. So, yeah, but four games can be made up. All you got to do is be able to win like 3 out of 4 in a series, and you get caught up. Don't even worry about sweeping. So, yeah, I don't have access necessarily to it, and I mean I had it on Peacock yesterday, but when I guess they do these USA ones, I thought the USA and NBC was affiliated, but apparently it's not. So, like I said, if there's any other streaming opportunities for me to be able to watch this, like how sometimes when we end up doing like maybe some football or baseball, I am not aware of any. So, I looked on the ones that I typically use, and I don't see anything on the NASCAR side really available. So I think it might be at this point I'm going to have to do the battle cam, aerial cam, unless I can figure something else out here. I know, Paisley. I'll get you some dinner. Hold on. All right. What do I want to try to figure out? Which one is going to be the most effective for me to watch? Battle cam or the other one? I know, Paisley. I love you so much. And then I'm trying to figure out where do I adjust the volume of PRN radio? Is that as loud as it goes? PRN radio, I need you louder. I guess I can't turn it up any louder. That's just as loud as it goes. I know, honey. You had fun snugging? Huh. I love you. Are you hungry? You love dad? You love daddy? Yeah, you do. And then obviously I had to hit you with the Chase Elliott. We'll see what he does. I'll be rooting for Chase or Ross Chastain today. I'm going to go get Paisley some food here as we get going. And a little unfortunate that I'm not able to watch it, on the HD 4K kind of TV spot. But I guess, it could be worse, unless I, end up getting someone's, link to be able to watch it through NBC. Hopefully, I'll be able to follow the action based off these cameras because it really looks like it gives me only two. It gives me a battle cam and an aerial cam, but if I can do the battle cam and then I get the PRN radio, essentially it's like a poor man's version of watching it like you guys on NBC. So thank you, Odin Son. I appreciate you. Odin Son with a 20. Thank you, man. There we go, my boy, Odin Son. Even when he doesn't even show up, he's busy. He got other shit going on. He still shows love and support. I wish other people would do that. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. We'll get people like Odin Son, Mr. Williams, Cyberpunk that typically will do that from time to time, even if they can't be here or maybe they don't have necessarily any interest in NASCAR. It's always good when people really love you and they really want you to succeed and they know, how things have been going in 2023 when you can end up getting, any kind of support regardless of what it is, liking, sharing, commenting, donating, whatever means necessary. And every little, thing matters, and that's big facts. Now they got the cameraman cleaning off the screen that I'm watching it here, but you want to make sure you have it looking sharp and looking good here. So $20 holla. Let's get to a hundo. All right, let me go get Paisley food because obviously I'm a very, very good dog dad, and I don't, ignore my Paisley pup. She means everything to me. So let me get her some food here, and then we'll end up getting going. All right, I'm back. I am back, baby. Bro, I was about to talk to you and message you. Started off really bad, and then I actually looked up his stats this morning. Every time I, have friends that, follow teams pretty close, I like to be able to monitor to see how things are kind of going. And yeah, man. Yeah, it's just crazy how you can start off so shitty and then turn it around like that. Bang, 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 my boy. Let's go. $20 in donos. Let's get to a hundo. Yeah, but you already know how hard it is for LaJoy. I mean, he is a contender in this race. There's going to be certain races that certain people are better at than others that they've either won it in the past or they've had a couple top 3 or top 5, top 10 finishes. But for a guy like LaJoy, right? Even though he might be favored, how often is he going to win a race in NASCAR Cup Series? Maybe one a year or none. So this has to be the one. It's not like he's going to win 2 races in a year. So I don't know. For me, even though I know Chase is starting off, a little bit lower than I would like and whatnot, but I wouldn't count out Ross Chastain, and there'll be a few other people that will be in the mix. But I know Ross has raced this track really well, and I love it that we're going to be going, under the lights. That's really exciting. I love that. Well, so I guess if anyone else is having issues, either with streaming sites, NBC, NBC Sports app, or you just don't got the goddamn race and you want to watch it, my best suggestion is go to NASCAR.com and then click on PRN radio, which will give you some of the audio, from some of the broadcasters. They also have in-car cameras that you can go in, and then you can click on aerial or battle cam, and that's going to be at least something rather than nothing. So 29, yeah. And this is obviously his last year, so this is his last time, doing this one. So, oh yeah, I mean, the first thing is, with Tyreek being gone, they said, you can't win without Tyreek. And then they did, right? And now they're going to have to say, well, you can't win with Eric Bieniemy gone, because now he's on the Texans, and he was kind of one of the masterminds with the play calling with Andy Reid. But yeah, I mean, it's very, very hard to go back to back, as we know, even if you're as great as the Chiefs, but I definitely would put the Chiefs as one of the, main teams. I mean, that's like, anyone could say that. The NFC is incredibly weak. So it's like you got the Eagles, you got the Niners, Seahawks, Saints, Lions, Vikings, maybe Cowboys or Giants, but it doesn't really seem like that legit. It's like maybe Niners and Eagles, and then everyone else is kind of below them. And then you have Saints and Seahawks that should be contenders, but I'm not sure about Super Bowl contenders. Maybe at this point today, maybe Niners and Eagles are Super Bowl contenders, maybe. And then the rest of the teams are like playoff contenders, with the Cowboys and the Giants and the Seahawks and the Lions and the Vikings, and the Saints might end up being the best one underneath those other two teams. And then obviously the same old teams, Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, you're going to get a lot of the same. But there's also going to be some new teams that will sprinkle in, go from worst to first, third, to second, third to first. The really one team I'm excited about is the Detroit Lions. I really hope that they make the wild card or win the division. The Vikings don't have a defense, but they're still going to end up winning games. Green Bay, should be average, so they're not going to be as good. Bears are going to be absolutely terrible. So we'll see where it goes. But even though the Chiefs are so good, we already know how hard it is to go back to back. I'm not necessarily sure that they will, but I mean, if any team was going to go back to back, it definitely would be them. They definitely are. As long as Mahomes and Kelsey's there with Andy Reid and that trifecta, they are going to be in the mix every single year, unless like Mahomes has an injury. Facts. And then if that happens, then it's open, but you're going to have Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the AFC, but you're going to have well-rounded teams, offense, defense, in the NFC. But the main difference is the defense has to step up in the Super Bowl if you want to end up winning it all. The Eagles played good defense up to that point, and then they couldn't, beat out the Chiefs O-line, no sacks, no picks, and that's why you lost. But if the Eagle defense played like the Rams with Aaron Donald, or my Bucks, when we played the Chiefs, where he scored no touchdowns, and you get sacks and you get picks, then you end up winning. But you have to be able to get pressure on a Hall of Fame quarterback in the Super Bowl, and if you just let him sit back there and do whatever the hell he wants, even though the Eagles were very good on offense with Jalen Hurts, who now is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, maybe the only one in the NFC. Like I said, offense doesn't win championships, defense wins championships, and that's very clear. William Byron, yeah, that would be sweet. Yeah, Chiefs, Lions, we'll get to see what the Lions do. It's not like they're going to beat the Chiefs, but maybe they can keep it a little bit closer than people think. There's a lot of kind of underrated quarterbacks, Danny Dimes, based on, learning that system and, being a two-way threat with running the football and throwing. It's something out of Danny Dimes that most people think he sucks, but he showed a little bit more out of his game last year. Dino had one good year for the Seahawks. Can he make it two? Right? And then you get guys like Jared Goff, where probably Rams fans are thinking, shit, I wish he was still here, because you can't even get rid of Stafford now. You accomplished a dream of getting the Super Bowl with Donald and Stafford, but now no one wants Stafford. No one even wants to offer anything because he's old as shit. So, I mean, they timed it right for the Super Bowl, but I guarantee if they didn't win the Super Bowl, they probably would be regretting that trade and would want Jared Goff back. I really do like Jared Goff, and I think he's extremely underrated, and I definitely think that the Lions have a shot to be able to either win the division or maybe get second place in the division. Maybe winning it would be too tough. But again, the Vikings don't have a defense. So, I mean, all the Lions have to do is play good, well-rounded football and kind of take on the personality of their coach. And we'll see what happens. But I won't be surprised if the Lions make the playoffs in the next 3 years. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. So, oh yeah, Rams are done. But they got their Super Bowl. And, that was the whole thing. They sold the farm for that chance, and they got what they wanted. But if you're looking for long term, it is what it is. Well, I got everything set up here. So again, this is on USA Network, Sirius Radio. But again, if you're wanting to watch along with us, and you don't have NBC or NBC Sports, you don't have cable or satellite package or any of those apps, it's not through Peacock, unfortunately. You can watch along with us here at NASCAR.com, and then you can click on the PARN radio tab, and then you can click on Battle Cam or Aerial Cam, and you're good to go. So I was a little worried that this was not going to be good enough for me, but apparently, from what I'm seeing, the screen is big enough. I got the stats here to the right of us as well. And I was really looking forward to this. I messaged Sarah. I'm like, fuck, I can't watch the race. And I almost decided to say, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. I was just going to spend time with Paisley if I couldn't get this NASCAR.com. If it wasn't going to give me, the actual race, I was going to be like, well, I mean, I could always – I know Wemby, a lot of people were looking forward to the Spurs and the Blazers, obviously, with Scoot and Wemby, but Scoot's shoulder is still injured. So even though it's like summer league basketball, when it's the two of the top three picks, two of the best, arguably besides Miller from Bama, but Scoot's not playing. And I would rather do this. I mean, hell, I decided to skip the Mariner game, which you guys know I do 90% of the Mariner games throughout the season, but it was on at 11 a.m. So I just only knew that only a few people would probably show up, and I figured that we might have a chance, to be able to win, and we got the dub, so it felt good. Stage one, all right, we got 60 laps. We're going 260 total. Odin's son, my boy, dude, that concert last night looked incredible. 15 minutes, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, any information, Tom, anyone in the building that is a hardcore NASCAR, if you have any info to give me, let me know on anything. I mean, obviously, I can look to see where the Fords are at the top. It is very Ford dominated. I think I see one Chevy sprinkled in there. And boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Here we go. Boogity, 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 boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. Let's go. I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to I would have been pissed. You know what I mean? Because then I could have did the Mariner game regardless of what the outcome is. Views, subs, donos. It's like I'm trying to work every day. And NASCAR is one of my favorite things to watch with MLB and NHL when it's not football season. It's always going to be NFL, college football, and wrestling for me at the top. But it looks like the audio, got the video, everything is pretty good here. So I guess I have to either adjust the actual audio from the cars going by or with PRN. But I don't really need too much PRN radio, only maybe when it's like a commercial. I mean, I can listen to the cars go by, and we can look to see all the stats that we have that are going to be uploaded there. Let's go. I like this track too. And it's going to be super dope when it goes under the lights. I love night racing. When it goes under the lights, it's like kind of mystical. It's kind of it gives you a different vibe. Regardless if it's a small oval track or not. Oh man, my surround sound is shaking in here. All right. I wish I could turn this PRN radio up higher, but it doesn't go. It's like, how do I turn the PRN radio higher? It won't let me go any higher, I don't think. It's like I'm getting the cars going by at a volume like, 100, and then I'm getting like the PRN behind it like at a volume 10. So I can kind of hear them a little bit. So last, okay. Let me see. What are you talking about when you ended up going to the concert? Yeah, any donations, if anyone wanted to, I mean, you don't have to, but again, anyone that wants to support the dream and the grind, obviously you can do super chats, you can go that route, and then obviously through the Cash App as well. With will be on the ticker down below, $ ORIONNWSF. Odin son, are you talking about just the concert stuff that you sent me? I won't lie. I'm not really into like the screaming metal or the heavy stuff. But anytime I see concerts that you go to, I would get into it. Like, you know what I mean? Like that might not be my number one genre of music, but to be able to go someone with like you and be there and see all the props and all the lights and the smoke and the vibe and people screaming and just having a good time. Like I said, I definitely would go to a concert like that. I know some people are intimidated. It's like even though I like old school rock, and I like hip hop, right? But it's sometimes with that metal stuff, you'll have like intros from like ECW that kind of have that vibe, and I love wrestling intros, and a lot of wrestling intros from the 80s, 90s, and current, will kind of have that kind of vibe as well. And yeah, they look awesome. It looked awesome. Oh, just now? What did you send me? I didn't get anything right now on Twitter or on text message. I don't have anything from you on the text message side besides the dono that you sent me. Did you send me something else? Where did you message me? All right, we're 11 laps in. Text. I didn't get any text from you. The last text oh, now I got it. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you. First time donator to the channel. Moma's TV with a $20 dono. Thank you so much, man. And for a lot of people that come through for maybe like the very first time, some people will donate, some people won't. Some people will like, some people will sub, some people won't. Some people will just be looky loos and they watch. But thank you so much, man. Anything through Cash App or through the super chat, and to do such a generous amount, it really does mean a lot. Thank you so much. First time donator, Moma's TV. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, Cactus Jack. Bang bang, $20 holla Mobiles TV. Thank you, man. And the thing is, with a lot of streamers, regardless if I'm at around that 20,000 sub mark, I mean, there's been streams where we've been very, very successful, where we've hit like 1,500, and then there's been streams where I've made zero. So you really have an appreciation and gratitude for anybody that even does 99 cents. Some people think that shit don't matter. Every fucking dollar matters when you're full time or when you're part time. So thank you so much. Now, is there any photos or anything that I can bring up at any point? Like maybe when we go to a commercial break, I can throw up some photos of your favorite drivers. Same thing too with you, Odin son. But usually, I'll normally pull up photos of the drivers either in the cars or different things just to kind of add a little flavor to the broadcast and whatnot. But you let me know if you got a favorite driver, past or present. Mine's Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator. And I definitely like Chase and Kyle Larson, but I'm really big on Ross Chastain. I like, the heel. He may not be as good as Dale Earnhardt. He may never be, but besides Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, those are your four best drivers besides William Byron to me this year. But who's that next man up? It's Ross Chastain. And I think that he will win a championship sooner than later. It might even be this year. So let me know what you want to see, and I appreciate you guys. Oh, you have been subbed. Oh, okay. Nice. I appreciate that. Yeah, sometimes, we'll get old subs, that have subbed, when I ended up doing like reaction videos early on. But it always is nice to get those people that maybe only watch football streams. Oh, we got a spin out. Uh-oh. The 21. Oh, he's spinning sideways like Fast and the Furious. Whoa. Good thing he didn't actually slam into anybody right there. That's awesome. Thank you, man. And like I said, sometimes, I'm not going to know every single sub out of almost 20,000, but I do usually recognize if it's been, your first donation to me or the first donation to me in a long, long time, if it's been that. But thank you so much. Everyone, make Momai's TV feel welcome. And I appreciate you very, very much, man. It means a lot. Thank you. All right, so we got a caution, huh? 16 laps in. And let me go to the okay. So what you yeah, I don't yeah, thank you for sending that. I'm not sure I'm clicking on the stuff, but it's like asking me to do a bunch of other stuff. So I will kind of play around with this to see if this can possibly be better. But I mean, at the moment right now, I mean, I got the PRN radio. I actually am watching the race live through NASCAR.com. I mean, I'd love to be able to watch it on the TV so I can actually hear the guys on USA talk. Because that's you like to be able to hear your announcers and whatnot. So when it's USA and not NBC, who is on the broadcast right now for the people that are watching at home? Is it Dale Earnhardt Jr. and a few other people? Like who's on the actual broadcast? But as far as I know, most of the streams, as far as like, NASCAR, it's usually just through those providers or through your cable or satellite. But then there's other streams that we use for like football, and baseball and other things, and they don't have NASCAR typically on there. Okay. Have you ever used this before? All right, let me send this link to Sarah, and then I'll try to open it up on the computer to see if this is any better. Oh, we got car sideways. All right, I need to go to the aerial cam. See if I can switch up from this one. Yeah, but that might work. It worked on your phone? Okay. Yeah, thank you for letting me know because I've never had to have any kind of an experience like this. Obviously, I'm in the process of moving, so they were charging us like $300, for cable with the two boxes, a DVR, like three TVs, and the internet. It was just crazy. So obviously, I had to cancel out that portion of it because I mean, that's a fuckload of money, dude. Like if it was like $200 a month and you're splitting it, that's one thing. But like when it's getting closer to 300, it's fucking ridiculous. So let me copy this link and let me see if I can get it to work here on the computer. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right, let me copy that. And then this is something that maybe Sarah could even use if she needs it at some point too. Okay. All right. So I just sent it to her. Okay, let me see here. All right, so I sent it to her. Okay, let me see. All right, and then how do I? Now, does this have like a lot of pop-ups and shit that is coming up? Like where do I do? Like where do I go? Odin Sun. Hold on, I gotta move it over. I've never used this before, so I don't know. You know how sometimes you have them and they have like a bunch of fucking pop-ups and shit. So, all right, so go on, scroll. Branson, Missouri. Nice. Yeah, we got a lot of people from the Midwest a part of the channel. Scroll to July 10th. Okay. And I just click on it. It says start now. It says start now and then add browsing overview by Securify. Do I have to do that? Or does that just like bullshit? What else am I doing here? I don't know. I'm getting like these fucking things coming up. Hold up. I gotta go back. All right, hold on here. Okay, browse. And okay, and then when I see these browser links, which one do I? Which yeah, I think it's a pop up. So and I just click on one of these. Is any of them? Okay. All right, hold up. All right, so I'm gonna turn that off. Turn the PRN off, and then now I gotta. How do I turn up the volume? Where's the volume area? Like I have a screen up, but I have no volume. Click to unmute player. Well, I click it and then it goes on to like ads. All right. So this one it says to click to unmute, but all it does is just bring up ads. Like how do I listen to sound? Maybe this is a bad one. So hold on. I got to find one that gives me fucking sound, huh? Oh, here we go. Oh. Can I? Oh, I just want to have the audio. So I'm trying to get volume, but I can't get volume on anything. And like anytime it says, click to unmute the player or whatever, but then it just brings up ad after ad after ad. Like, is there an opportunity to even get fucking sound on this? I saw one that actually had buttons at the bottom that looked like it would allow me to do it, but all right, hold on. All right, so what I can do is I can use the audio. Now I'm turning into a fucking wizard. Now I can use the audio through Nascar.com, and then I can see. Okay, and then I can actually watch it on this other one. And this one looks like it's actually the TV broadcast, like with the camera angles. So Okay. Yeah. If there's any other ones that have, I didn't even know if there's anything like that that existed. But I mean, like I said, we're crafty here, right? We try to figure out what it is, and I guess if I keep scrolling, I might be able to find one. But the ones that I looked at didn't have sound, and then you saw a little bar to like adjust the notches for the volume. But as soon as you try to go, it disappears. Like they almost do it on purpose. So that way, it's just ad after ad after ad. You know. So, but as long as I can do the audio from NASCAR.com, I actually got the video through like a TV provider. So I actually have like the camera angle that's much better. So that works. All right, here we go. I don't know if there's a delay on some of those other ones, but I think the NASCAR.com one is yeah, so NASCAR.com, obviously, and the streaming one has got a little bit of a delay, just like anything else does. It's like 10 to 15-second delay. So they're obviously, so at this point, I'm going to keep both of them up. But I got the PRN radio, I got the Sportscast, I got that one up for a different camera angle if I need to pull that up. And then, to actually have it be live, the only way I'm going to be able to watch it live as we're going is if I watch it through NASCAR.com or through NBC or NBC Sports app. So thank you, man. I appreciate that. And that might come in handy, in the future, anytime you can get access to things. No, it worked, man. Like I said, because like I can use two different camera angles, and I can use the audio so I can kind of bounce around. Because the one that is the other one is actually the TV broadcast, so I get different camera angles and I can kind of click back and forth as I'm going through. So this is perfect, man. I got two different camera angles to watch it on, and I got the PRN radio, which I can slightly hear in the background with about maybe like 10% volume, and then I got the NASCAR.com has got it right here as well. So no, man, you did everything above and beyond. I didn't even know that shit existed. I mean, I figured people that like F1 and NASCAR and other stuff, they would probably have to have a streaming site. You would think, because there's going to be a lot of fans that are looking if they don't have cable or satellite, right? 27 laps in. It's like Fords. Eric Amarola, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, and then you finally get a Chevy in there and Kyle Larson. And then Reddick, Cindric, Byron, Truex, and Gibbs. So you got a couple Chevys and Toyotas sprinkled in, as you can see. And I think I like using the black graphic with the more detailed information than the standard one on NASCAR, which is white, or the one that's on ESPN. Thank you, Odin. I appreciate you. I live in Oregon, so for me, I've been watching and following sports and wrestling since like '85. So for me, it's like I live in Oregon, so Blazers is that's our only team really. It's Ducks or Beavers. It's Ducks for me. I met Ken Griffey Jr. when I was 7, so Mariners, and the only football team that's I'm not a Seahawks fan. Like I said, around '95, I was trying to figure out when I was 13. I was kind of a Niner kid growing up with a lot of my friends, but I didn't want to be a bandwagon Niner fan that, oh, we got 5 championships, 4 with, Joe Montana, 1 with Steve Young in '94. I don't want to hop on that wagon, and like, oh, look at me, I got 5 championships. And I had a feeling that they would never win again or not for a long time. And I waited until '95, and then the Bucks drafted Sapp and Brooks. And then I already liked John Lynch and, Allstott, those are that kind of my kind of guys, physical, and that was kind of history. So it's the only team I represent really and follow that's not in the Pacific Northwest. And if I, really think about it, I probably wouldn't have even been a Seahawks fan. I probably would have still ended up being a Niner fan if I wasn't a Bucks fan. So oh, Lillard's gone. We already drafted Scoot Miller, and he wants to go to Miami. But we don't want to get some bullshit deal like Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson in return. We follow every sport on here very, very thoroughly and in depth. But Dame, he can say that he, maybe doesn't want to necessarily play anywhere else or whatever. I know him and Bam are really good friends. So essentially, what that means is we're going to have to do a 3-team deal or a 4-team deal. And if we can get maybe Toronto involved and get Pascal Siakam, I would feel pretty good about it with all the guys. But I don't want to trade, Shaden Sharp and a lot of the guys for our future and Scoot because that's our future, And I wish that we were able to bring free agents to help Dame. We love him. We're going to root for him to do well. I hope he wins a championship or at least gets to experience a finals. But most Blazer fans, we are rooting for him. He's been a class act. He hasn't done anything wrong legally or in the community. He's been a class act guy on and off the court, very likable. And I'm rooting for the best for him. I never will say a bad word about Damian Lillard ever. So, yeah, well, if the Celtics were going to get him, then you'd have to give us Jaylen Brown and a few other pieces, which I wouldn't be too upset with, honestly. You want to give us Peyton Pritchard and, from the Ducks and give us Jaylen Brown and then someone else like Robert Williams or something. Fuck it. I mean, we just got to be able to get something better than supposedly Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. We need to get a lot of draft picks and hopefully a couple good players along with that too. Do you have a favorite driver or anything that you want to see for your dono? Usually when people donate, I always make sure and you can let me know at any time. If you don't care about the photos, that's fine, but it's just something extra I like to do for the people that support me. So it doesn't even have to be NASCAR related, on the stream. It could be football, basketball, baseball, wrestling, past or present. Hell, it could be cars, it could be food. We pretty much do a little bit of everything here. Try to help people out with the mental health and grind it out with obviously these streams. But I do appreciate you very much, even though you've been a long time sub. And this is your first donation to me ever, correct? I appreciate you very much, man. Not very many people would. To some people, it's like $1, $5, $10, $20. It's not a big deal, but when you're someone that's been grinding as much as I have, and it really does. And like I said, I'm full time, and it took me 10 years to go full time, and I sold a Jordan rookie, to essentially, get everything kind of going. And the card is now worth like 20 to 30,000. So I made a pretty big sacrifice for my dreams, because obviously if I didn't have any dreams and goals, I would have hung on to that card until Jordan died, and then it would have been worth like 100,000. That's like a down payment for a house, or I could have got like a Lambo or something, or invested in it. So Paul Pierce, you want me to get you some Paul Pierce? I can get you some Paul Pierce from Kansas and get you some Paul Pierce from the Celtics if that's your favorite player, no doubt. I got you. We'll wait till we go to like a commercial break here, or once we get into when it kind of settles, like during a caution, and I'll throw up some Paul Pierce for you, man. I appreciate you very much. And Odin, if you're still in the building, let me know what you want. I got you too. $40 laps in. Joey Logano, Eric Amarola, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr. in your top 5. William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, and Chase Briscoe, your top 10. Where the hell are you, Chase Elliott? 17th. Come on. Come on, baby. Ross Chastain in 28th. Come on. Yeah, sure. Absolutely, I will. Absolutely, I will. Let me do that. Let me send them to Sarah, and then I can grab it from Twitter from there. Yeah, dude. So, how overall, what was the experience from that concert, that metal concert that you went to? yesterday on a scale of 1 to 10. What would you have given it? A 10? A 9? It looked intense, man. I won't lie. Yeah, because I think the first photo you sent me is a little blurry. Then you sent me a video that was like 30 seconds to a minute, which was incredible. And that's when you were there. I would assume at like 8:40, I got it. Um, but it looks awesome. I'll send Sarah the video too, so she can check that out. It's awesome. It's not very long, Sarah. It's only like, let's see, how long is it? 33 seconds, but it's cool. All right, I sent you the video, Sarah, that he sent me last night. Hopefully that will go through. I sent it to you on Twitter there. You sent me a new one? Okay. 9. Oh, okay. Oh, so they opened and they just did everything by themselves. There was no opener. It was just them the whole time. Yeah, well, you were enjoying yourself. You don't want to be on your phone the whole time. That's why I try to tell people when they go to like baseball games and they see all the luck that I have and everything. I was like, well, I'm not on my phone. I'm not doing that. So, Chris, I'm gonna follow you back. Boom. Appreciate you, Chris. And usually when people send me a notification, I got you. I got you, man. I just followed you back. Appreciate you. And I'm kind of bouncing around through the different camera angles and whatnot. Let's go. Yeah, I just followed you back. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, usually people will communicate with me outside of the streams, depending on how close I am with certain people and whatnot, but anything that is sport related or wrestling related, if want to communicate, I don't have any issue as long as someone's not blowing me up with like 50 things. Like as long as people are being respectful and whatnot, I usually interact with a lot of people on Instagram and Twitter. I don't have a problem, hanging out and sharing different pieces of content and whatnot, cool photo, cool video, something breaking news, stuff like that. Appreciate you, man. The Chiefs and the Jets tickets. Oh, I bet. And with Rodgers, being there, obviously overhyped, but you get to see Sauce Gardner and whatnot. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of hype there, but there was a lot of hype with Brett Favre, and you're probably going to have about a 500 team. Now, is it possible that Aaron can get that team to 10 wins? Yeah, but it's also very possible they could be 8-9 or 9-8 and miss the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I get it. You're excited. Anything's better than Zach Wilson or maybe Mike White, but I mean, Aaron's not going to be very good if you don't give him pass protection. You can have all these weapons, but if you don't have time, to be able to go through your reads like Carr with the Raiders, right? You got Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfro, Darren Waller, all these pieces, Josh Jacobs, right? But if your O line isn't good, he's not going to have time to get him the ball. Tom Brady had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, all these pieces. But if you don't have, 3.5 seconds to go through first progression, second progression, third progression, you're fucked. If you get pressure with 1.5 seconds, you can only go through your first read or you get sacked or throw the ball away. So I think people don't realize like you can see amazing names at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end, but ultimately you're going to need help from your O line. So higher than fifth, let's go. Those were wild, man. We had four finishes within 1 minute or less. Crazy. Normally, you're not going to see that. You had a retirement fight, An emotional fight, from a young man that was raised by his mom, and dad walked out on him and the brother. He said, "Dad, you love me now?" Kind of a little emotional there, and whatnot. But I like watching boxing and UFC when I have the time. I can't watch every big event, but I try to watch as many as I can. Exactly, and that's what it's about. You're a Chief fan, so nice save. I saw that, Tom. Nice save. I know you like Reddick, and Reddick is one of the top 10, top 12 drivers, I feel, even though he started off horrendously with a bunch of DNFs and like crashes and shit. And then he finally started kind of getting into a rhythm. It just sucks for someone that's so talented and kind of up and coming to struggle like that. But again, you're going to get some of the OGs like Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr. are kind of on the way out, it seems like, right? And then there's going to be room for others to kind of move up, the pecking order and whatnot. So. All right, I'm gonna go. Let's see here. I gotta try to get some photos for you guys. $3 grand, damn, that's a lot of money, dude. But here's Odin's son in New York at a concert. And anything that's like metal and crazy like that, I love it, dude. Like I said, I'm always curious to see like how that's gonna be. Like the vibe and whatnot. But pretty sweet, dude. Stadium tour. Oh yeah, absolutely. You kidding me? Yes. We're foodies, dude. It's all about Flavor Town. If we're gonna go to an event, regardless if it's like anything, baseball game, football game, whatever, it's like you're gonna want to make sure that you get at least some of the food outside the venue or in the venue. Yeah, there was some questionable, things there, and obviously some fans probably felt a little ripped off. 4 fights under a minute, but like I think the shortest one was like 17 seconds, and then a couple of them were like 30 something ish. They were like the same time, and then one was like closer to a minute. But that's insane to have fights end. Like it's one thing to get some good shots in or knock the guy down, within the first 30 seconds, but to be able to end it, like that was crazy to see for sure. 58 laps in, we got two more for stage one. Four lead changes so far. And we have a lot of Chiefs fans a part of the channel all over the globe. Lots of them in the U.S. and not necessarily all of them live in the Midwest either. All right, we're on 59 out of 60 here. Is Blaney going to get it? Yeah. And Blaney takes it. This race has been going like really fast, or is it just me? I mean, I know we haven't really had a bunch of big wrecks, and we had a spin at earlier, but you didn't really have a whole. I mean, it depends on the track. I know if it's short track, oval, if it's a road course, or if it's just one of the bigger tracks. Some tracks are more easy to kind of get bunched up and wreck, but when you have a lot of space, in between, sometimes, it's a calculated wreck. It's not going to happen necessarily like right away. So, all right, let me get some. I'll get some cheap photos up here for you guys that donated. I'll give you guys some love, and I'll get some Paul Pierce up for our guy here as well. We got to get Chris something good. All right, Chris, let me get you guys some. I'll get you and Odin. I'll get you guys some Chiefs, and then we'll sprinkle in some Paul Pierce for you because that's your favorite basketball player. And I'll even hit you with the Chief logo. Your boy goes the extra distance here. We don't fuck around. You got to make sure people support you. You put in the most maximum fucking effort you can to keep improving things on a daily basis. Some people, I think, take shit for granted, but your boy never will. Just seeing Mahomes puts a smile to my face for football season. Chiefs versus Raiders. And we got pit stops coming up. That'll give me time to do some photos for you guys. Appreciate you guys. Couldn't do it justice if I don't throw a little bit in there, a little Kelsey in there for you, at least one or two. Appreciate you guys. It's kind of crazy though too, because sometimes people will ask that question like how to donate, and then they just never do. They'll ask it like they're gonna donate, and then you tell them how to do it, and then they don't do it. So it actually is nice when someone asks about it and they actually come through. So I appreciate you, man. Much love. All right, let me get you some. Let me get you some Paul Pierce here too. Hope you guys enjoyed those. Yeah, Alex Turp. Yeah, I can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's about you guys. So is that the name? Is that not it's the name of the band Alex Terrible, or is that just the name of like the one lead singer? I know I'm an idiot, but it looks like. I mean, you got to educate me on the metal stuff. I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna know everything. I like the masks that they wear. It's cool. It's a cool vibe. All right, let me get some photos for the people that donated. I got the Alex Terrible here, and I'm going to get the Paul Pierce here too. We got Joey Logano going in the pits, one of the modern day legends. Oh yeah! And is that the first time you've seen him, or have you seen him before? Appreciate you, bro. All right, let's try to get some Paul Pierce up here real quick. First time. That's awesome. Try to give you a little bit of like old school, a little bit like I try to always, make it a little bit different, not like this the obvious. I try to give you some cameo looks, give you kind of behind the scenes look, maybe a photo you've never seen before or haven't seen it in a minute. And I like to make sure I represent properly. So it would be fitting to only start off here with LeBron, give you the kind of like the behind the scenes, photo, like a personal photo, and I got to end you with the one that matters the most. Let's go, baby. Anything is possible. Let them know, Kevin Garnett. That was a special team. No lie. Hope you enjoyed those, and I appreciate you. Quaker State 400 Atlanta live reactions watch party with your boy. And it took me a while to figure out what setup I wanted to use. I had other camera angles and other ways that I've done the stream for like baseball. But usually when we do NASCAR, we have to see the stats, and it's either you can use the NASCAR.com with this one with like the additional information, with like the last lap, best time, best speed. If you go to ESPN, it doesn't give you that information. It's pretty much, who's at what position. And then they also have a NASCAR.com, the leaderboard, where it does give you some of the stats, but it's just formatted more in a white format. So I think that this is the one that is preferred by fans, I think, and it just looks a little bit better with the black rather than having like, me at the stadium at Atlanta Motor Speedway and then having it maybe too bright over there. So yeah, send me some. Dude, I'm always, dude, I'm not a hater. I am the biggest supporter of my friends. Like, I want my friends and my people to win, and like, it makes me happy when I see people actually being able to work hard, and, obviously sometimes jobs suck, but then being able to, go do some things that you really enjoy, like go to a wrestling event or take your kids, or go to a fucking metal concert and really just enjoy yourself. Even if it makes you temporarily broke, you'll figure shit out. A lot of us are crafty. We'll figure shit out. Sometimes we need to, ask for help. And, you got to live your life, man. You know what I mean? Everything is a choice. We got a lot of people on the channel, including myself, that have gone through, fucking really bad depression or anxiety or other things that are going on. So it almost is like therapy in a sense. We get fanatics of sports and wrestling all over the globe here, and we can kind of just bullshit and talk, but then we can also be real. And that's really important too, to be able to have an outlet, because a lot of people, they can't even talk, about real shit, even with their friends, because it's like a drinking buddy. You tell them something and it goes in one ear, out the other. And if you do that too often, then you feel like, not only you're not being listened to, but you don't want to open up to that motherfucker anymore ever again, because they took your fucking shit for granted. And I think all of us have been there. Sometimes you got to be careful on who you give the information to. Sometimes you want this like result back, from someone that's just a drunk ass, and you're going to get drunk ass results unless the person is actually your boy. Yeah, please do. Raiders. Yeah, I think you and Odin feel the same way. If you're a Chief fan, you're not going to have a whole lot of love for Raiders, right, or the Broncos. I don't think you guys really give a shit about the Chargers as much. I think you respect them. You know that they have a horrible coach, they have horrible play calling, and their defense will always let them down. So you don't even really need to pick on them. I think like people already know and feel sorry for them. That's why we got to get my boy Herbert out of there. But Raiders and the Broncos, they're going to talk shit just as much as the Chief fans, and in most cases, they won't really match up. So it is what it is. But if you are a Chief fan, I know the Buffalo Bills are, searching for their championship, but if they never get a, stud 3-down back, a top 10 running back, they're never going to win. Their O-line and their defense needs a lot of work. And I hate to say it, but Josh Allen might be the most overrated superstar quarterback in the league. He's got a strong arm, and he's very, very, very good. He's Hall of Fame. But in my opinion, he ain't better than Burrow, and he ain't better than Mahomes. I want a guy that can control the football in the fourth quarter and not fuck up and not throw it into double, triple coverage. You know what I mean? I feel sometimes, it's hard with the ego, when being like the man. But I feel like Josh Allen, coming from a small school and then being the man now in Buffalo, I don't know. It just seems like maybe it went to his head a little bit more. I think Burrow and Mahomes are more grounded. And, Mahomes has already won the championships. He knows he's the best in the world. But for a guy that's close to Allen, Burrow, I would take him over Allen 10 out of 10 because I just know that I'm getting that swagger, that confidence. I know he's a fucking grinder. He's already had a serious injury. He had one of the best teams ever at LSU with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. I just believe more in Burrow. And I think that, if you were almost able to win the Super Bowl with no offensive line, just imagine once they get an offensive line. Hopefully there'll be at least one more Super Bowl chance for Burrow before it's over. I think he's very deserving. So, right. But I think Josh Allen is good enough with the Bills if they get the right running back and they beef up the O-line with a couple more spots, get better defensive players, and hope guys like Von Miller don't get hurt. There is a chance that they can get to the Super Bowl and at least hang around or possibly win against like a team like the Eagles or Niners. It just depends on, what the running game looks like and what the defense looks like against them, in the big game. So, I mean, it is possible that they win one or two championships. It's possible they go to one or two Super Bowls and lose both, or it's possible they only go to one and they lose it, or possibly win it. But they're nowhere near, I feel, championship caliber, especially if the defense on the NFC side actually shows up. Like, it's like if you got Diggs and you double them and you have no running back to go to, they're going to figure you out. So it's like, and then you get him forcing a lot of throws. And again, I still think Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, and Herbert will all be in the Hall of Fame at the end. Herbert has the worst situation as of now because he doesn't have a lot of help on the O-line to stay healthy, coach to make the right play calls, the OC, and the defense always gets hurt. They have a bunch of names every year, but they just never can get the job done. So I'm hoping that Herbert will eventually leave and go somewhere else, and then he'll maybe have an opportunity for a Super Bowl before his career is over. But with Herbert's case, he probably will have the least chance to get there. And if he does get there, he'll probably only get there once in his career, depending on what team he's on, and he'll probably lose. So, but, that would still be a big honor to at least, show that you are good enough to lead a team there, but he needs help. So we're 74 laps in, 7 lead changes. $75 laps, baby. Kind of like Brett Favre, yeah. Yeah, but one though, like only one with that type of talent, gunslinger like a Dan Marino, but maybe a little bit more picks, right? But had fun for the game, and that's why I think people like Brett more than Rodgers because Rodgers kind of comes across as very misunderstood. You know what I mean? He's has his own clique with his own friends, but I feel as outsiders looking in, there's a lot of clickbait and a lot of bullshit that's written about him but he also doesn't really come across as like the nicest guy either. He kind of comes across as like if you know him, you're going to be boys for life, but if you don't, going to be maybe a dickhead. Like because it seems like he maybe has a little bit more edge to him than he needs to have. And Brett just was addicted to painkillers and just fucking loved football and played like a little kid. So I think that more people can relate, not necessarily to the painkiller part, because obviously we know that's a big issue across the world. But I think just the love of the game and playing like you really love it. And I'm not sure if you really saw Aaron play like that. He was naturally gifted and maybe one of the most naturally gifted throwers we've ever seen. But Brett played with a passion, and obviously each guy only won one Super Bowl. So, but if you actually look at their talents, they're good enough where they could have won 2 each. I definitely feel not 3, but I definitely could see Aaron getting 2 and Brett getting 2. They probably should have. I mean, with the amount of talent that they had, Team for Herbert, I agree. Or the 24. No, William Byron. No. Don't hit anybody. Oh, he just spun out. Damn it. But yes, the MLB draft is in Seattle right now. And Sean Payton for Herbert or Sean Payton with Dak. That would have been tremendous. It would have been able to get him closer to that Jalen Hurts, level. Because obviously I thought Jalen was Dak 2.0 early in the career. And now Jalen is a top 5 quarterback and Dak is looking up at him. And we may not see Dak get any better, really. It's like the coach and the owner Jerry Jones and McCarthy are garbage, and they need to either sell the team or get somebody better. The best thing about them is Dan Quinn and Micah Parsons. CeeDee Lamb's got a lot of potential, and I like that they got rid of Zeke and you got Tony Pollard there, but it just seems like they're cursed. So you need to make sure that you get someone equally as talented as Dan Quinn, top 3 defensive coordinator. You need to get a top 3 coach. So that would have been Sean Payton on, I think either the Chargers or the Cowboys. You would have seen both of those teams go a lot further, maybe even an NFC, AFC championship game if Sean Payton went to those teams. Him going to Denver, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really a big believer in Russell Wilson at this point. Could they make the playoff? Yeah, but they're not going to win a Super Bowl. So a lot would have to change for Sean Payton to win a Super Bowl in Denver, and they're nowhere near a Super Bowl contender in my eyes. Even the next couple of years, unless you get rid of Russ, you bring in your own guy, a different quarterback, right? And then you start flooding really good free agents and having a couple good drafts. And maybe 5 years down the road, we're talking Denver's a Super Bowl contender, but I just don't see it. Oh man, his tire is ripping apart. No, Byron. Tom. Oh man, that tire ripped apart. Hopefully it didn't get a lot under in the wheel well. Shit, man. I'm rooting for him to do really, really well. Yeah, but he is going to make the team better. He'll get more out of Russell Wilson. I mean, when you are one of those coaches, regardless if people like him or not, Sean Payton is brilliant. You know what I mean? Like, there's not very many coaches as good as him, as smart as him, that has a bond with the players like him. I mean, hell, if you can coach the Saints, you can coach fucking anywhere. Because half the time you get those guys fighting with themselves. The fan base fights with themselves. So, if you can manage those personalities, you can manage anything. And we already know. I mean, the most toxic fan bases in the NFL are easily the Cowboys, the Eagles, and there's one more in there. Saints. Yeah, penalty and then spun out. Yeah, Herbert needs to get out of there. That's like the one guy, being a Duck fan, that I knew LaMichael, DeAnthony, Mariota, they are not built, for the NFL game. That's why I knew when we had Haloti Ngata and we were recruiting him, I was like, this is going to be like our best defensive player probably ever. And I thought that if he went to the right team, he might have a shot to win a Super Bowl, and he did with Ray Lewis, thank God. But with Herbert, he definitely has the body size, the smarts. He's not an ego guy. He can make every throw. He just needs, a great coach, a great play caller, an offensive line that can stay healthy, and a defense that's not overrated with a bunch of these names, and they all play like shit at the end of the year. It's like, it just really sucks for someone that is a Hall of Fame quarterback to have that, But again, we'll see what happens. But I mean, if you put Herbert on the Chiefs, Herbert on the Bengals, Herbert on the Bills, I mean, you're going to get magic. But it's just a matter of what kind of supporting cast do you have. But those 4 quarterbacks are nice, fun to watch. All right, we got Joey Logano in the pits here again. It looks like fuel only. Almost runs into the 47. No tires. Wow. Weather? Hell no. Don't give me no weather stuff. Dude, there was one stream I did last year where we were on here for like 7 or 8 hours. I know if you're a NASCAR fan, that ends up happening sometimes. Rain delay, then the sun comes out for a little bit, then get a little bit of racing in, then rain delay, and then you got to dry the track up, and sometimes you go back and forth, and they want to get it done. And sometimes you end up having a race that's supposed to be 3-4 hours, and 4 hours turns into 8 hours, or they fucking cancel it, and then they got to either make it up on Monday or they just say fuck it, and that's the winner. So $40. Let's get to a hundo. Yeah, where are we looking at positions wise? Who is underwhelming right now? Let's take a quick peek. So we got Bubba, Priest, Truex, Elliott. Got my boy Chase in fourth, Logano fifth, 83 laps in. But where are our other guys? We got Kyle Larson in 11th, Reddick in 16th. Come on, man. Ross in 19th, very quiet, but Ross was like in the high 20s, so he's climbing. Kyle Busch at 29. Let me see. What else do we got? Looking at the other names kind of towards the bottom. All the other names are kind of what we thought. Christopher Bell in 25th. LaJoy, I know you had that little sleeper there, Chris, and then Corey's in 20th. I don't know. Like for me in this type of race, even though I know people were hyping on NASCAR, chats and NASCAR.com and other places that were talking, people were bringing up LaJoy and a few other people. But again, for a guy that maybe would only win one race all season or none, to put it all on like this particular race, I don't know if I could really put odds or bet on a guy like that doing it. And it could happen, but I know Ross has been racing well at this track. He's got quite a few top 5 finishes. Chase won it last year, but he hasn't really been good this year because he hasn't gotten a rhythm. Once you end up having the snowboarding skiing accident, it took him out of a rhythm. William Byron stepped up. Larson took some wins. You're starting to see guys kind of separate themselves, and Chase needs to kind of get back to being the Chase Elliott. But again, you have to get the monkey off your back, and I don't know. I know he'll probably get a win this year. I would actually be kind of shocked if he wasn't able to turn it around. I mean, if you're supposed to be, like the next big thing in racing, like the next best thing since Jeff or Jimmy, like, you got to at least win one. It's not like you were out half the year, but momentum has not been in his favor. But Chase has been getting closer and closer to a win. We just need to see him maybe get second place once or twice. And usually when that happens, just like Kyle Larson, they'll get second, and then boom, they win. Sometimes you don't just go from 20th, 15th, 8th, 3rd, and then you get the win. Sometimes you have to creep. You get second place, you're like, fuck it, nah, fuck my life. And then you get second again, and then boom, then you get the win. That's kind of Kyle Larson's MO. If you watch him, he's very consistent, but sometimes before he gets his first win, he has to creep with a couple of those second place finishes, and the team has to encourage him. Like, bro, you're so close. The next one, you're going to get it. And if he believes it, then he achieves it. But if he doesn't believe it, then it takes a little bit longer. So he says, I need my racers to win. $10 holla. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. $10 holla. What do you want to see for photos? I got you some Paul Pierce's. You let me know or you think about it. And let me know what you want to see. It could be past or present, anything. NASCAR, NBA, college basketball, college football, NFL, wrestling, AEW, WWE, UFC, boxing. I mean, literally, we do it all here. Hi, Paisley. Yes, thank you so much, man. I mean, like I said, some streams, we end up hitting amazing numbers. And, when I put so much blood, sweat, and tears into every stream I do, it's just nice to be able to get supported, And it's been challenging. Some days have been real good. Some days it's been really, really rough. So thank you so much, man. You've done more with your 2 donos than a lot of people have in quite some time. So thank you, man. Appreciate you very, very much. Okay. Upload it, dog. I'll keep you posted. Yes. And Sarah's the lead mod here. So anytime you see conversations between me and her, and obviously with the donos and where we're going, we're a team here. So 26 laps into stage 2. And I'm really happy that we got this figured out, Sarah. I mean, even if we ended up making nothing today, and if it was just like a $0 day or a $5 day, just the fact that I'm able to watch when I thought I wasn't going to be able to, that definitely lifted my spirits up a little bit. I've been waiting for this thing all week. I just figured we were going to get to watch it on Peacock like last week at the Chicago street race, which I thought was very cool. And I got a really good surround in here. Obviously, I still only can hear the announcers on the PRN radio about 10%, but hell, I'd rather listen to the cars go by, 150, 200 miles an hour anyways. And I got all the other stats here that I need. So appreciate you very much, man. $50. Let's get to a hundo. I appreciate you very, very much. Odin's son with a dono. He's matching the vibe from Momaz TV. He said $40 dono for Chiefs Kingdom. Hey, we got to have our Chiefs Kingdom people represent in the building. Thank you, man. And sometimes that's all it is. Sometimes it just takes one person to kind of set the tone. But if you don't get anybody to set the tone for an hour or 2 hours, the chances of actually having a good dono stream is like impossible unless Cyberpunk comes at the end and drops like 100 to 200 or 300. But even if you have limited people, there's sometimes the vibe. And thank you so much, man. And like I said, it shows you, you can have a lot of people in the room, you can have a little people in the room, but it all depends on what the people do when they're in the room. And if, they can support. Thank you so much, man. Dono Trains is a vibe, that's for sure. Thank you, Odin. $40 dono, my boy. You guys let me know what you want for photos. He said for Chiefs Kingdom. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Stacks on stacks. Rex on Rex. Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. $40 dono. Thank you so much. And I need it. Facts, man. $90 hairs. 10 more to go to hit the goal for the first goal. And it's just nice to be able to. And I understand that not every supporter is going to donate, and not every heavy hitter is going to be able to donate all the time. I understand 100%. But just when you're at the sub count that I'm at and the grind that I put in, it definitely hurts. When you're taking time to do the prep for an hour and make the thumb, you do a 3 or 4 hour stream, and then you're at like nothing. It definitely. I don't want to say it's soul crushing. Oh no, Larson spins out. Larson, smoke. Oh no. Caution's out. Hopefully his car's not damaged too bad there. Oh, flames underneath the ride. Multi-car crash there. Turn 4. Odin says, "Let me make it an even hundo, another tenner." Thank you, man. It means a lot. And we obviously have had less support this year overall compared to last year. I mean, and that hurts. And then we've had people pass away. That hurts. Not only them not being here, but the support that they brought. Nate the Great, I love you, man, forever. I will. We've had people that were regulars on the channel that were heavy hitters that maybe had a different thing happen with the job, and we've had people missing from the. I mean, we have felt it on all levels, and to be able to continue for me to be able to do it full time. Obviously, that's ultimately the dream, is to be able to do this pretty much for the rest of my life, and of course, if it does get to a point where I have to get a second job or third job like I did, for all those years. I mean, hell, it took me 10 years of having 2 or 3 jobs to get to this point. So. But it really does feel good when you can get people that can step up, from time to time or often, and it means a lot, man. And you do, man. You're the original OG. And I know Sarah probably is, when we're doing some of the streams and we're grinding it out and we're at like $1 or like 3 or 5. Yeah, but again, I try to keep it all in perspective that there's always another day, and as long as I keep working hard, I keep grinding, I keep updating the look of the stream, giving you guys new visuals, making the thumbs awesome. Like I'm just doing everything in my power to not only make it look good for me, but to be able to show you guys what I'm capable of, from where I started, 11 years ago to, where I'm at now. And obviously, this is what, my 7th year on YouTube, but my 11th year of recording. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate you more than you know. Bang, bang, boom, boom, bang, bang. $10 hollow. Cactus Jack says, thank you very much. $100 in donos, man. We had a roll there in 2022 where I think we hit like 100 to 200 or 100 to 500. It's probably like 100 to 200 average, like for like 6 months straight. So it really does make you appreciate everything in life when you grind and grind and grind, knowing that nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is forever. Yeah, maybe $100 or 200 every day for 5 or 6 months, and then you hit zeros, and then you really start to not necessarily feel sorry for yourself, but to really start appreciating. I've always had gratitude but I feel my gratitude and my love is on a whole nother level because when you go from hitting the top of the mountain on Everest and then you're in the gutter, and sometimes you hit the gutter multiple days in a row, and it's not a good feeling to be, at a gutter level as they're taping up Larson's car here. But every time we hit the gutter a couple days in a row, we usually have someone or someone's like Odin's son and Momai's TV step up and get us back on track. So it means a lot. And he did get dumped. He did. 100 doll hairs. Let's get to two. He's like, this download is taking forever. 439 megabytes of 503. Hopefully your phone doesn't blow up after you upload that concert footage. He's trying to upload it, try to get it all sent, and then the phone just blows up. Thank you so much. And like I said, I haven't bought anything for myself, honestly, in 2023. Everything has gone to food for Paisley, just to be able to fucking live. Honestly, like you sent me wrestling figures, and that was probably like really the only thing I've really been able to get. I'm a big toy collector, but I haven't been able to, spend money on that. And I mean, as long as I can see Paisley and it's still going to be a part of my life, and it sounds like I'm going to be able to have her for probably the most I would be possibly able to have her, not having her full time. I'm going to have her probably about 2 weeks out of the month. So that is not normal. Most of the time it'd be like weekends or a couple times a month. And if it was like that, then I probably would have to get a dog of my own just because, I need to have that comfort. And, me and Paisley have this really strong bond. I've never had this bond with anyone, human or pet, before. So, I'm going to be able to walk her and get her the proper exercise. I'm not going to abandon her. It's like I've spent, almost 2 years of my life every day, spending time with this bond with this pup. So she deserves the best. And I don't know what kind of exercise or effort is going to go on when I'm not here. So I need to make sure that if she's not getting properly taken care of, that when it's my turn, that I'm going to make sure I do, maybe I'll walk her twice, once in the morning and once at night. I just got to make sure she doesn't get overweight, because when dogs get overweight, or cats, it reduces their life 2 to 3 years. So we already know cats and dogs don't really live a whole lot. Some of them pass away within 5 years. Most live 7 to 15, but some don't even get to that point. So I want to be able to appreciate every moment of her life. So yes, and it wasn't just the Omega. You sent me Jericho, who I love, and even the Sting, legend. Anything, figure wise. Like I said, it's the thought that counts. Those were my first AEW figures, and then you sent me the Omega with the Moxley, but it comes with like a fucking table and barbed wire. It's got blood on the figures. That's probably, honestly, out of all the figures that I own, that's probably in my top three, just because you gave it to me as a gift. And as far as what's included in that two wrestler box set, I haven't had any other box sets in eight. So you pretty much broke me in with the AEW merch. I have like hoodies and T-shirts and stuff from when they first started, but I had no wrestling figures whatsoever, which is kind of dumb because I'm like the biggest wrestling fan and the biggest AEW fan on planet Earth. But if it comes down to Paisley or me, I'm going to make sure that she gets the bone or the food or the toy or the love or the attention, so. But thank you, man. Anything that you want to see, let me know. Or Mo Mize, if he's still in the building, I can always throw something up for you guys at any point. But thank you guys so much. Because like I said, we had a couple rough streams earlier. So, to be able to, it's like a couple low streams and then hitting the goal, and then a couple low streams and then hitting the goal. But hell, we're gonna grind it out, and I'm gonna appreciate every single dollar, man, and just the time that we get to spend together too, and also being able to provide different opportunities, different looks. Obviously, is this the best look? Not necessarily. I mean, obviously having it full black and then me like in a corner would probably be better, but with a little NASCAR vibe. But also too, I want to be able to have the flexibility that if I do want to be able to show, we can do it many ways. We're not limited to just one look. We can bounce around with I can adjust things, on the fly and whatnot. But But sometimes, just being able to position things a certain way is nice. And I like kind of playing around, and nothing is like set in stone. Like I'm pretty much in control of whatever the hell that we want to do. And if someone wants to see a different angle, but obviously I know with NASCAR, and a lot of people, they want the scoreboards for the games. That's a given. I get it. And for NASCAR, it's like if you're going to do a stream, it's like I know people can appreciate some of the photos and the excitement that we have. But a lot of people, even if they're already looking at it on their own computer screen or on the TV, people want to be able to see extra info. I get it. I'm an analytic guy. I'm a stat guy. So, once I was able to kind of figure out these different layouts and whatnot, I agree. I mean, I love looking at the stats. I like looking at the scoreboards that I've incorporated with the baseball streams that are going to be football and hockey. And I think it's going to help us, overall as well. So, all right, baby. Of course. Well, you already know how much I like I don't have any young bucks, and that's not me trying to ask for a young bucks figure because I'll, at some point I know you'll probably gift me some, or I'll end up getting some. But yeah, that's probably next on the list as far as AEW is trying to be able to get maybe a series one. Young bucks. I know they do them separate, or if they have like a box set. I mean, honestly, I love them so much, but I haven't been able to look up because I'm always reading and doing film study with all the events that we're doing. I haven't been able to actually look up all the Young Buck figures. I don't even know what they look like. So I probably would have to browse and see what they got. But for Mahomes, I appreciate you. All right, hold on here. And I appreciate you, man. $10 holla, bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Said from Mahomes. Appreciate you. Yeah, or or maybe not even being a mover, because it's like, even if you made moves, are you going to make the playoffs? Probably not. So at this point, maybe just being bad for the year is the smartest way to go. I know it's kind of a harsh reality, but it could work out. The draft has got some really good players this year for MLB, college baseball. So if you do shitty and you don't blow up the team, and you just, that might be the smarter way to go. But again, when you're bad, you want to get better. No one wants to watch a shitty team for the whole season. So I hear you there. Yes, and much appreciated for the dono. We're getting underneath the lights now too. This is awesome. AEW is coming out Albany. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Abandoned, yeah, man. They haven't been putting her on TV at all. Obviously, it's going to be like AEW dark type stuff, but yes, it's my favorite racing is night racing. Especially when you go from the day at night, or even if they just started it at night. I don't know what it is. It's just maybe just being younger. If you had friends or dads or friends of dads that worked on cars, you had the lights down. They're tinkering on some kind of Chevy Nova. People are shooting hoops in the driveway. I mean, I had a couple friends that had dads that were tinkering around on stuff like that, and we would just play catch, with the football or the baseball or shoot hoops in the driveway. And this wasn't at my house. This was at friends' houses and whatnot. But whenever I see like a night race, it kind of reminds me of my childhood and those times, late in the evenings and Hot Wheels and fucking NASCAR and Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon and Jimmy and Tony Stewart and all that. So racing under the lights is always fun. Yes, it does. And if you guys want, like a different, camera angle, if you guys want something that looks different, you just let me know. Like I said, I just figured this one would be, I can always experiment with different sizes for the screen for me. You don't need to see fucking me big. We already did that on a bunch of other streams. So I feel like me being smaller is better. So, and then obviously the way that we do baseball and football streams, that's going to be the best look. So stats are good. Jeremy Macklin, Mizzou. Yeah, I can get you some Jeremy Macklin. Yeah, this one's going to be up for grabs for sure. 105 laps in, 10 lead changes. All right, let me get a couple photos up here for you. Great people that are supporting. How about I get you Mahomes and Texas Tech? I love seeing rare photos, of stuff that is not normal, or stuff that maybe not a lot of people have seen or haven't seen in a minute. But I'll get you some. Wow, let's go. Come on, Chase. 11 spots. Love Chase. Come on, Chase. Come on, Chase. Oh, baby. Okay, man. Have you got to go? I love you and I appreciate you very much, man. Thank you so much for all your support and sharing me some photos, and I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. I'll exit your way out with some amazing photos, and then your photo from your concert. Yeah, baby. Ross and Chase moving, baby. I need them in the top five. That was kind of like what I was hoping for today. That I could get both in the top five, even though I knew that would be kind of tough. But again, Chase won this race last year, but that doesn't mean shit this year. But he's good here, and Ross has been very good here. He's had a couple top five finishes here, so that's what I'm hoping for. Those are my two favorite. I like Larson a lot too, but I think right now my two favorite are Chase and Ross. But I respect Kyle Busch and Jody Logano and a couple others as well. Larson. We'll be good. Oh, are you talking about you? Oh, so when you get so you did it on your YouTube channel, right? So what happens is if you post stuff like that, and if they like have the people that are monitoring or whatever, and so if they claim it, so then like the band or whatever or whoever's in charge of like the label can get like whatever, like they can claim the views or whatever, even if it's like a small amount, right? And it's just for people that are trying to like monetize and get paid for the content. So they can either like block it, they can copyright it, and then that means that they get credit for. I mean, essentially, if you're not making any money off of it anyway, it's just pretty much like the views go towards them, not you. Even though you're getting the views, it's like, oh, it's mine type thing. But if you get a copyright strike, then you get three of those, then you can have your channel taken off, and there's issues there. So you can't have three within like a 3 month period, or you can be unfairly banned. That can happen. But with what you did, I imagine everything will be fine. Like I said, if it's just a copyright claim, that just means they're claiming the music. The music is not Odin Son's music. The music is that band. That's what that's pretty much claiming, that the band is their music. It's not you. So you're fine. But if you have any other questions or anything, yeah, usually they'll send you an email. So whatever your email is linked to, like Gmail or whatever, it'll send you an email based off copyright claims or other stuff. But claims don't mean anything. You'll be fine. It's just pretty much saying that that person is responsible for that band and music, not you. So, yeah, I know. And like I said, no one cares. Even if it was for a lot of money, yeah, most it's just like it's just a thing that they do. So you're okay. It's all good, man. I appreciate you and your support. And honestly, just being able to hang out with you for more than 30 minutes at a time is always nice. I know a lot of times you're busy, but whenever I get like some of the mods or the OGs and we can actually hang out for more than 30 minutes, it's nice. It's fun. We have a strong bond. A lot of the mods and a lot of the OGs to the channel. Wow. Busher, Almadinger, Logano, Blaney, Cindric. Trying to look. Christopher Bell in 10th. LaJoy in 12th. They're moving up. They're moving up. Ross is in 19th. Chase in 17th. Victor, yeah, what's funny with the Wembenyama? Like they didn't even want to put his field goals in there, with all the stats. They showed, Miller and then the Twins, and Scoot, and they would show everyone's field goal percentage. And I mean, like I said, if you're the first pick, show the graphic, because all the people need to recognize that they said that this is the second coming of, like a Michael Jordan, pump the brakes. This is not LeBron James or Michael Jordan, but some people were thinking that he was. So, it's like if guys, are skinny like that, I mean, Kevin Garnett and Kevin Durant panned out, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be the best in the world. They're going to be probably really, really good. And he can put on weight. He's being mentored daily by Pop, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. I mean, I couldn't think of a better 4 or 5 guys to mentor you. So he'll be Hall of Fame more than likely and pan out. The only way that Wembenyama doesn't pan out is if he gets injured and his legs collapse. And if that happens, then he's fucked. But if he can keep his legs healthy, he's going to have a bright career. I mean, the center position is fucking dead. What, Joel Embiid, Wembenyama, and fucking DeAndre Ayton? I mean, give me a fucking break. I don't claim Giannis and the Joker as centers. Those are power forwards. So exactly. And see, that's where you and me are on the same page with a lot of the sports fans. I pay attention to all the graphics and all the little things like that too. I was like, I'm always on Twitter reading. I'm always getting the film. I'm always going through all the articles, all the team sites. It's like if you're gonna hype this guy up, as the next like LeBron James, big guy, and then he has a shitty game and he says that I was lost. Don't pump the brakes. What's your narrative? Is your narrative going to stay the same? That this is the second coming of Michael Jordan, or are you going to be real and realize that hey, maybe we overhyped him and he's not as good as we thought he was going to be? Like, what the hell did you expect? You expected Giannis or Joker numbers that he was going to come out and do 30, 20, and 15? Like I think some people thought that. But it shows you some people know sports and other people are fucking idiots. And they don't know shit. It's like they want to hop onto a trend and see if it sticks. Throw a paper at a wall and see if it sticks. Not easily. I love you. I love you. You love dad? You love daddy? Dad loves you so much. Oh man. $10 holla. Thank you so much, man. You're a blessing. You have no idea. Appreciate you very much. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Let's go. Let me get some photos up here. How many cars involved? Yes, thank you so much, man. He said, no, 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 no. Huge crash. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Ross. Joy. 6 or 7. I'm gonna go through these photos and I'll make some more room. Appreciate you guys. It's always nice when we get Chiefs Kingdom members coming through. They're very generous. They definitely take care of you, boy. And it's always cool to be able to see something old school. And it's always nice to be able to see a legend. And here we are. Another caution. Where's my boy Chase? And then Ross was involved, you said? I got to get the breakdown of all the people that are involved. And let me get that. I had that Jeremy Macklin. Let me see what I got. He was a beast back then. That's for damn sure. All right, what do we got going on here? Yeah, keep me updated with the Mariner stuff for sure. Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, we have to take a look to see all the drivers that were involved. Yeah, the race might not even be able to be completed with the weather. We'll see how long it goes. But I don't know. For me, like, I love Sunday night football, but when I don't have football, a Sunday night race like this is like on a similar level vibe for me. Like if it's like a morning race, it doesn't really feel the same. But when you end up having these ones that are like at night under the lights, it kind of gives you a Sunday night football vibe. Obviously, the Sunday night football vibe will be a little bit more intense depending on who's playing. But if you are a NASCAR fan, I mean, it's the closest thing to Sunday night football that we're going to feel until Sunday night football. So, yeah, rain is getting closer for sure. Let me know. Odin's son had to take off. If there's anything else that you want me to be able to pull up for you with your donos, it could just you let me know. I always just try to. Some people don't give a shit about it, but I mean, if you can end up getting something interesting, usually I try to find some HD or some 4K stuff. So I got one more for you. Oh, baby. Monster in college. Appreciate you. Is that your favorite team? Let's get to know you a little bit more. I know you said you subbed a long time ago, but you haven't. This is the first time you've been in here, probably for a NASCAR stream, or maybe the first time that you messaged or donated. Um, but let me know. Let me know your teams. Give me your teams that you root for, or the stuff that you like. I like to get to know everyone, so I know who your favorites. It sounds like you like to bet, and you're gonna try to make some money that way as well. But obviously, the Chiefs and Mizzou, and who else do you follow? Celtics, and then who else? Anybody else? So your boy listens. Ross is most likely done. Is that the most significant name? I'm looking right now. 35th. Ross is probably done. 35th. Kyle Larson, 36. Oh, man. So you got Larson, Chastain, LaJoy, Burton, and Ty Gibbs. Those are the ones that are in the worst situation right now. Bushner, Cindric, Blaney, Logano, Big Bad Brad Keselowski. Where's Chase at? 8th. Come on, baby. Come on, Byron. I love that, he was able to step up because he was always considered like, a second fiddle to Larson and Chase Elliott. And then, him getting the 3 wins, it's like, look at me. I'm not like Alex Bowman, even though Bowman can usually get top 10 finishes, but he's just, he's better than Bowman. And honestly, like if William Byron ended up winning the championship, I think that would be kind of cool, to be able to put his name, on it, and be like, hey, we can get championships with 3 out of the 4 drivers, not just 2, and have 2 other guys that are like okay or pretty good, you know. Hey, calm down, Paisley. Paisley should have stuck her head out the window and started woofing. I'm going to make sure the back deck is situated. Give me a sec. All right, I'm back. Let's go, Chase. Napa know how. I haven't said that in a while. Come on, baby. Yeah, everyone is racing like it's going to be the end of the race. It might be. John in the building. How are you? Go Cards. Nice win. Did you get the win today? You won, right? Yeah, we race has been pretty good so far. We're about halfway through, but the rain is coming, so there could be a stoppage at some point. Mariners drafted shortstop Colt Emerson. Now I'm going to have to look him up tonight. Um, yes, congrats you and Sarah. I love it, man. And I'm going to have to look him up. Yeah, keep me updated on all the. I mean, I normally don't really care about the NBA, NHL, or MLB draft. I used to love the NBA draft like the NFL, but not so much as of late. I still pay attention, but I don't know. It doesn't bring me excitement anymore. Just the way that they format it, who they have interviewing and talking. I don't know. The NBA seems like kind of like they're trying to put on a show for social media, and it's like a bunch of bullshit. It's like not entertaining. The NFL draft is awesome, but as far as some of the other sports, I don't really care for the drafts as much. But when it comes to the Mariners, if there's something that's going to be happening, of course, I want to see who we get. Big Bad Brad, Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney, Paisley. Man, I was so nervous that I was going to be like planning on, doing this stream, and then not being able to. I would have been devastated, like, or I would have had to sign up for some kind of fucking program, like, one of those other ones. Like, Sarah, what's the one that you have? Do you have like the Fubo or whatever it's called? Like one of those off-brand ones. Those, like, and then it's like you got to sign up for one of these other like subscriptions, and like, I didn't want to miss this race. Like I don't like missing races, but like I said, once I get moved and situated, I'll be good to go because there's already Comcast there, and then I'm gonna get the Ziply for the internet. Probably get like 300 or a gig to make sure I have something good. So, but I like watching the Peacock network stream when it was on NBC yesterday last week. I really enjoyed that broadcast. Sling TV. Okay, I got a wrong TV provider off-brander. Yeah, there's like so many now. Like when you go to apps for like Hulu, Netflix, you keep scrolling. It's insane. Like there's like it used to be like 5 to 10. Now there's like 100. Like you, I guess if you have a lot of money and you don't want to invest in a lot of the other ones. I mean, hell, I like having cable or satellite, but I don't want to pay 200 or 300 a month. It's like if you're going to rip me off and whatnot. So, and obviously, streaming companies know that they're going to get people with the Netflix and the Hulu, but what about some of the others? I think people are kind of cutting back on some, and maybe they're going to do the Prime or the Apple TV or some of the others. All right, 141 laps and at 260. Big Bad Brad and Cindric battling. Ohio High School Baseball Gatorade Player of the Year. Wow. What pick did the Mariners have? I mean, if I didn't have this NASCAR race, I would have already known all the information, but I didn't take the time to look it up until obviously after it was going to be over. Or I was hoping someone like you would bring it up, um, even though I know not very many people give a shit about it. But we don't know when this race will end. It might end at like lap 200 at a 260. So they're racing like it. 22nd. Wow. Who was the first pick in the draft? Was it a pitcher or a positional player? And what team did they go to? You know what, Tom? I thought exactly the same thing. I was like, they're racing so hard that the race is going to be called off like in a 5 laps or less. That with all the blocking and people kind of breaking, and getting a little too aggressive, we are going to get a big wreck pretty soon. I can feel it too because everyone's kind of racing reckless a little bit right now. But I understand. I mean, we could have stoppage at any point, between now and lap 200. pitcher from the LSU to the Pirates. Yeah, Blaney and Big Bad Brad going at it. Normally, you don't see Big Bad. Remember how Big Bad Brad used to be like so good back in the day? But again, I mean, to sustain that success depends on the team, your crew chief, a lot of pieces, pit crew, sponsors. But this is, I mean, we see Big Bad Brad kind of towards the front, from time to time, but not really in a position to necessarily win a race that often at the end. Yeah, I heard the crash in the wall with the no caution. Did they say one of them was Austin Dillon? I think because like I said, I got like the car volume, on here it's like on a level like 100, and then like the radio broadcast is at like a 10. Yeah, he does. And I like that Martin Truex Jr. didn't retire. He had too much left in his bag, and he probably should have made the playoffs last year. Ross Chastain bouncing off walls and whatnot, but it would have been a shame if Martin would have just walked away, whether you like him or not. I feel that he is one of the more talented drivers, and it's cool to see people have some success if they haven't had it in a while. I get it, man. This mental health for being a driver has got to be tough, especially when you see guys continuously win and understand how hard it is to even get one, let alone a couple in a year or many. Yeah, I heard it. I heard it faintly on the radio. I think it was Dylan. Yeah, I thought maybe that Mike would be able to come through. I think he came through yesterday, but unless something came up or whatever, or maybe he'll pop in here before the race is over. All right, we got a little over 100 laps to go, but with the rain coming, again, they might shut this one down a lot sooner. Yeah, I always like having Mike in the building, even if he can't donate or whatever. Who cares? Just come in here, give me some Alabama information for college football. Give me some information on NASCAR, past and present. And he's always, it's always good vibes. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Tom. Like we've seen Brad like kind of get towards the front for like a little bit in maybe one or two races, but he's been kind of up there for a while, a little bit longer than I think maybe some people anticipated. So 80 to go. Where's Chase at? Chase is in 16th. So Big Bad Brad, Blaney, Busher, Cindric, Allmendinger. And then we got Bell, Bowman, Hamlin, Priest, Wallace. And what about like notable drivers? We got Martin Truex Jr. at 11, Chase at 12, Byron at 14, Logano at 16, um, Harvick in 20th, Kyle Busch in 23rd. That's crazy. Oh, is that Alex Bowman? Hamlin and Bowman. Yeah, well, we remember like in the College World Series was kind of towards the end with those last 3 or 4 teams. There was quite a few talented players on a lot of those teams there. Oh man, Bowman's car is fucked. Look at that. He's got the fucking sheet metal is hanging out of the fucking hood. He's got no tire. It's just going straight on the. Oh man, he's got major damage. Bowman. They're working on the car. Oh, the 20 as well. Oh man, I got to take a look at this review. Okay, so what do we got? We got Larson and Chastain obviously at the bottom with Austin, and then Gibbs, Gregson, LaJoy, Burton, Bowman, Hamlin, Reddick. Man, wow, it's crazy. We might end up getting like a first time winner today. I mean, the way that the race is kind of going, we might have a no namer, or like a mid level guy or a lower guy win it today. It kind of just depends on who's able to not have any major issues. But if you had to put money on it, it kind of feels like a Ford is going to win. The Fords have been the best all day. So even if you're a lower name, if like a Michael McDowell Daytona 500 winner, maybe you'll get something like that. Or, you know, I'm not sure if you're going to get anything out of like Gilliland or Yaley that far down, but you got McDowell, Priest has been pretty good. Cindric, Busher, Blaney, Big Bad Brad could be one of them. Let's go, Bell. $20 holla. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. And like I said, you can do it through the super chat like you are, or you could do it through the Cash App, whatever works for you, or whatever you decide to do. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $20 holla. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me know. I'll get you a Christopher Bell photo if you'd like. But they own it, so you already can tell. Thank you so much for your support. Even though, I mean, you might be a regular donator to other channels, or maybe you're not, but sometimes it feels like when we do streams, it's almost like pulling teeth. To be able to try to get to a number and to be able to have people contribute and participate and show love like that. I mean, some people it may not be a big deal, but for us here, it definitely is. So appreciate you. Yeah, it's much appreciated. And as we know, the Fords run the town. I mean, at least you get some Toyotas and Chevys up there, but who knows if they're going to be up there towards the end. 140, let's get to two. Yes. All right. Big Bad Brad, Ryan Blaney, Chris Busher, Austin Cindric, AJ Allmendinger, top five. Bubba Wallace, Christopher Bell, Michael McDowell, Justin Haley, and Ryan Priest in your top 10. Notable names after that: Truex Jr. in 11th, Chase Elliott in 12th, Logano in 14th, Byron in 16th, Suarez in 17th, and Harvick in 20th. And the most notable name below that would be Kyle Busch at 23. and then everyone else is, typically up there with a Ford towards the top. But we'll see what happens. I wish that we were having the Blazers Spurs matchup where we could have had Scoot versus Wembenyama, but that's much better. Yeah. Did you bet on LaJoy and Bell or just Bell? Hey, I appreciate you. It's still going on right now. I know not everyone, will follow every single thing that I do. Obviously, some people will be baseball people, some people are NASCAR people, but it's still going on right now, and it's going well. Nice win by the M's. I imagine you got a chance to watch the game. Logan Gilbert starting to get back on track. Nice to hear that the Rangers have lost 11 out of the last 16. And if we keep playing like this, Julio wins the home run derby. We end up having a nice little homestand after the break. And if we can get on a right kind of page with everybody, we are going to definitely be able to make a run for one of the wild card spots. We're not that far behind. So, okay. Yeah, keep me posted. Let me know all the notable names. You got a hitter. What about pitchers, though? Isn't pitching like the weak spot? Why aren't you guys drafting pitchers? Unless there isn't one yet. That's worth getting. Cindric. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to be able to see someone that I thought was maybe our worst starter, and then he had the complete game last time, and then he actually pitched well, and this is a good team. Houston could end up making a World Series push. So that was definitely cool to see the Mariners, play really, really well. And shit, we almost swept them. I mean, we won 3 out of 4, and we won the first 2 out of 3 in Seattle. So even though we're just barely over 500, the Mariners actually are starting to kind of live up to the potential. Like we're getting hot at the right time. Here, towards the rest of the year, we kind of had to build it up and we didn't really have a complete team. But maybe we turned the page and turned the corner. But having the All-Star game in Seattle, if Julio can win the Derby, he's got Pete Alonso in the first round. So if he can get past that, and then we can win, the All-Star game and then just start rifling off a bunch of wins at home, like 6 to 10 to 12, it could be a real big push for us moving forward. Chat, my boy, in the building. How are you? I'm good, man. So watched the Mariner game today and hung out with Paisley. And now we're doing the NASCAR thing. And we're in Atlanta for the Quaker State 400. And tomorrow I'll be doing the home run derby for the MLB All Star game. And I imagine Preston and Justin will both be there. And then I'm doing the All Star game on Tuesday, which I really am excited about. That's my favorite All Star game to watch. And I haven't missed one ever in my life. So besides when I was little. But since like 5 years old, I pretty much watched every All Star game, or pretty damn much. But how are you guys all doing? Are you guys doing good? Byron took the gamble. Yeah, we're trying to keep up. I watched a little bit of that futures game yesterday while I was calling the Mariner game to see some of those potential future stars. And the MLB draft is today. So, just trying to keep yourself busy, with all these different things until we get to football season, which I believe college football is only 7 weeks away. So, and once college football starts, you already know the NFL is right around the corner. But if we end up getting preseason, then you already start feeling kind of good. So once we get into like August, you already are kind of, your vibes kind of change, You're not really in that June, July. It's like you already know, you can taste it, like the games that are going to matter. But if you got to watch third or fourth stringers battle it out, and rookies, fuck it. Like sometimes we crave it so much that we don't even give a shit. It could be fucking anybody. It's like, the fucking Cardinals and the Jets or something. No one good is playing. I don't care. I'm watching it still, right? And I know some of y'all will be watching it too. So we're getting there. We're getting to football season. We're getting there. All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate your support and sharing, even though it's not something that you typically watch or hang out with. But you can always hang out at any stream. But I will be back for Home Run Derby, All Star Game, and then obviously Mariner games right after that. Appreciate you. All right, so we got about 99 laps to go, but they may shut it down early to rain. And obviously, we have been going through, different camera angles and different views. Obviously, with basketball, baseball, football, hockey, we have our new look, like when I do with the baseball stream. So we're always going to have the ticker, and we have the scoreboard that's updated, and we'll have, other cool things in the background like baseball cards or football cards. And then for NASCAR, you can either have me bigger, and then have like the stat page off, behind me or next to me and whatnot. But it's just nice to be able to kind of switch it up. And my boy Chase, Quaker Say 400, Atlanta. Oh, baby. 98 laps to go. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been. But also, too, after Julio did the Derby, he ended up kind of getting a little nicked up, with all that effort. So, sometimes being in the Derby, it's cool, but you do have a chance of getting injured, like you do in any game and whatnot. So, and the Braves are probably the best team in baseball. Yeah, there's the Rays and the Rangers, but I said this at the beginning of the year, and I still haven't really wavered or changed. I feel it's like the Braves World Series to lose. They're the best team. I mean, if they played the Rays or the Rangers, could they win? Yeah, but if I'm really looking at it like as a bettings man, like in a 7-game series, who would you feel the most comfortable betting on? The Braves, the Rays, or the Rangers? And it's like the Rays and Rangers have been good, within the last, 10, 15 years. They've made World Series appearances. They've been there, but, they would have to play pretty spectacular. I really feel the only way that the Braves don't win it is if they beat themselves or they get hurt. They kind of feel like that super team. But the Rays and Rangers are up there. But the Rangers, again, have lost, I think, 11 out of the last 16. So they're kind of coming back to reality, and they're dipping down. Houston and the Mariners will go up. So we'll see kind of where it goes, with everything there. But it feels like maybe the Rays and the Braves, they got really good potential to face each other. But and then you got sleeper teams like the Orioles that are very, very good this year, kind of like the Blue Jays and Mariners of last year. And I really like what Baltimore's been putting together too. All right, here we go. So what's good? What's good with you, Shep? Anything new? I know you've probably just been fucking grinding and working a lot. Oh, baby. Allmendinger, McDowell, Eric Jones. Who? Eric Jones. That's the highest Eric Jones has been all day. AJ Allmendinger, Byron, McDowell, Stenhouse, Suarez, Custer, Gilliland, Eric Jones. Yeah, that's why it feels like it might be a brand new winner, and we've had what did we have? I had the graphic that I posted already recently, with the winners that we've had. So it's like we've had 7 races, 7 different winners just recently. So yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. But if it ends up being you versus those two, I don't. I mean, just being someone that watches and reads baseball every day, and watches every day, it just feels like Strider and the team. You guys are the best team. You just need to stay healthy. Kind of like, it feels like you're the Golden State Warriors with Steph and Clay and Draymond and Kerr, and no one's going to beat you except you. So as long as you guys stay healthy, your pitching stays hot, and everyone plays together, it's kind of your championship to lose. Unless there's a hot team that comes out of nowhere and beats you, like the Philadelphia Phillies of last year, but I highly doubt that. I don't know if we're going to have a Philly team. It seems like the National League overall is kind of booty. It's like the Dodgers and Diamondbacks are a little bit better, but it doesn't really feel like any team in the National League is on your level. It's like the American League teams are more on your level. It seems like National League is kind of weak, but you're really good. But I'm just saying Dodgers aren't the normal Dodgers. It just seems like you guys are far better than anyone in the National League. So that's a compliment. Should win it all. Byron, baby, in first. Ooh. Byron, Almadinger, Suarez, Gilliland, Yaley. Kyle Busch all the way in 6. How does that happen? Seriously, Mike's not even here. Like, Kyle Busch could be sitting in fucking 23rd to 28th all race. And then when it gets down to like the last 50 to 60 laps, and then all of a sudden you see him in like 3rd out of nowhere. You're like, what? Well, you were in 28th, just like I just blinked. And then you went from there to 3rd? Okay. Jordan Walker's younger, but he looks like Greg Oden. He looks like he's 30 already. Mature dog. There we go. Stage 3 of 3. Less than 100 laps to go. Hi, Paisley. Love you. Byron, rep that 24. It's like Jeff Gordon out there. Show some Byron some love. Oh, we got trouble. We have trouble. What happened? Oh, no caution. And that's why with like Joey Logano and Kyle Busch, whether you love them or you hate them, they are so talented that it doesn't matter where they're at for a majority of the race. If they have a good pit stop late, and they feel that the car is halfway decent with their skill set, they can move up quite a bit. I mean, those guys are like Hall of Fame. I mean, type of guys. I mean, when we talk about Joey Logano and Kyle Busch, years down the road, they're going to be in the same category as the Jimmys and the Jeffs and the Stewarts and the guys that we have now, like Chase and Kyle. With Larson and Elliott, and then you might end up getting a couple others to add to that, like Ross Chastain as well. Rain is coming. Yep. Harvick spun, no caution. I was about to ask you who that was. I heard it faintly on the radio. On my bucket list, though, for real, like before I die, I definitely want to go, either sit in the crowd or get an RV and sit in the middle and then be on the top of the RV and just like, eat and drink beer and just like enjoy the views. I think that would be epic. Like I've been to like every sporting event except for NASCAR. So to be able to do NASCAR big would be insane. Like being there in the crowd would be cool, but I think being like in the middle, like if it's possible, and have an RV and just be sitting at the top, some burgers, dogs, fried chicken, some chips, some beer, and just relax. And that would be epic. Like to me, that sounds like out of all the sporting events, you could be like front row for football or basketball or baseball. Yeah, that's all great, but like this is something different, especially with the noise, the horsepower, with everything that's going on. Yeah, Jeff Gordon, Ryan Newman. Yeah, I got quite a bit of NASCAR, memorabilia, like old school McFarlanes that they made when they took over for starting lineup in like 2001. So I got some of those of like Dale Jr. and a few others, and I got a Jeff Gordon autograph from like his beginning of his career, 92, 93, 94, in that early stages when he had the mullet. And I got one of those racing cards. It's like authenticated, and he's got a nice autograph. And I got some artwork of like Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty, but I haven't bought anything really NASCAR related in a long time. Oh, trouble. They said, oh, going sideways. 23 and the 41. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Get out of the way. Oh, good driving there by the 17 to avoid the wreck. Wow. Jeff Gordon, Tony, Jimmy, Matt Kenseth. Yeah, absolutely. Like even though Kenseth maybe wasn't appreciated really fully while he was there, I feel like once they retire and you look back and it's like he was racing now, it's like even kind of like mid-level drivers, like Casey Kane, he's not like he's going to win a lot, but he made a name for himself to a certain degree. I mean, it's, for being kind of a lower name guy or even like a Greg Biffle, it's like you're not going to be great for your whole career, but if you actually do have some talent, you're going to peak towards the front at some point. It may only be for like a year or two, kind of like Biffle, but, Biffle was one of the top drivers back in the day. He definitely kind of leads the back end and, to even see people like Biffle, you're still making a paycheck, you still love it, But Casey Kane was one of those guys that maybe he wasn't the best. He never was going to be a Jeff or a Jimmy, but you might have rooted for him, kind of young kid, lots of energy, bring a little different type of swagger, to NASCAR. And when you see someone like that actually get a few wins, maybe not be a Hall of Famer, but at least you established yourself not being a bust. Like you actually won, and you established yourself in the NASCAR community. So. Yeah, I just have these like random memories like that. I don't really know why I thought of him, but that was like the first one that I could think of as like kind of a mid-level driver, but had talent, but never really probably got appreciated. But then Kenseth was like elite, like same level as like, maybe not the championships with Gordon and Jimmy, but as far as like skill set, Kenseth was one of the top 5 at that time. With Tony Stewart was up there too. It just depends on what car you're in. Were you in a Ford or were you in a Chevy? So. Now they're working on the 19. Give Byron some love. Man, I would have been so devastated not being able to watch this. Oh, I almost did the Mariner game, honestly. But I went on like a long, long walk, and then I was like, I don't want to, leave Paisley alone for the whole day. I love her too much, so I was like, I'll just do the walk. And then I started to like start to make the thumbnail, and then as I was sitting down, I was like, no, I was like, let me just watch the game and hang out, and then I'll just do this. And then all of a sudden, I found out that it wasn't on Peacock, and I was like, oh god, I was like, what am I going to do? Still want to find a way to watch that, but it worked out. Breaking news: William Byron is good. The reason that he hasn't signed yet is because the Patriots and the fucking Titans are ass. Like, who's going to fucking throw the ball to you? Like Malik already, they're trying to push him out, and their quarterback situation with, Levis and Malik, they don't have any wide receivers to throw to. Like I tell Sarah, the Colts have really not a whole lot. The Titans have like literally nothing. You could get guys off the street that probably could play better than what they have. They're terrible. They might have the worst wide receiving core. So why would you go there? The guys aren't going to be able to get you the ball, and there's no talent there at that position. Yeah, they have Henry, but let's just be honest. It's not, saying any lies. The wide receiving core is terrible. Okay. Colts is bad, in my opinion. You got one guy, but I mean, if you want Richardson to be good and not get replaced, you have to get Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, Dallas Clark kind of pieces, or it's going to be the beginning of the end for him. There. But they got more talent with Pittman, and their receivers got more talent, even the lower name guys and the newbies they brought in for last year, like Jelani Woods. They got some talent. But, I guess if you're DeAndre Hopkins, I'm going to the Patriots instead of the Titans if I'm going somewhere, regardless if it's Mac Jones or someone else, but at least you'll be able to get the ball, But if I'm DeAndre Hopkins, you're wanting that big team, Chiefs, Bills, you're Eagles. You're looking for that call. Bengals, even though they might have the depth, like you're looking for the awesome quarterback and a team that is really good. so that way that you have a chance to maybe get a ring. He doesn't want to go to fucking one of these bottom feeders. At that point, I guess you could be like, well, I'll retire. But if he still wants to make money, and have money here at the end of his career, sometimes you just have to take a gut punch and be like, fuck it. I guess I'm going to the Titans or the Patriots. And maybe he's uninspired, but then he gets a couple million and then, numbers are shitty and then you just retire. But you don't want to damage the legacy. But I'm thinking he's looking for a mid-level team if he can't get the high-end team. So if you can go to a mid-level team like maybe Detroit or Minnesota, imagine what if he went to Detroit, what would that would help Goff. And I think Lions are already going to be good. Or if he went to the Jags with like Trevor, it's like you're trying to look for places that, or Saints, with Carr, like you're looking for places where you can actually maybe get the football. The Niners, Seahawks, even though they have depth, like you just want to go somewhere where you're going to be a winner. And even if he had like really, really good stats, I don't think anyone's really going to give a shit. Like, oh, Hopkins had great stats with the Titans, yeah, because they had nobody. I don't think he'll be appreciated there. But again, maybe you take less money because if he's asking for a shitload, there's a reason why people aren't calling because they don't need you. But you're still a Hall of Fame player. You know what I mean? But maybe not Hall of Fame level play now. You're a Hall of Famer, but I mean, what are we actually getting from D-Hop now? You're not a top 3 receiver anymore. But the real question is D-Hop a top 10, top 15 if he got the targets, or in reality is he somewhere between 15 and 30? And it just depends on what team he goes to. So yeah, well, shit. If I'm D-Hop, right, and you have a chance to make like let's say $5 million, right, or you go to the Chiefs and you have $1 million, I go to the Chiefs. It's like if I already have enough money in the bank, yeah, $7 more million to go to the Titans would be cool, but I'd be miserable. So that extra $7 million ain't going to make me happy. So I would rather just take less money and go to a place like that. But also, a lot of those organizations, they don't want to spend the money. You know what I mean? They do things the right way. And so a lot of times you bring in a guy like Hopkins, right? The talent is there, but what's the number one thing that most likely that's going to happen for Hopkins? You sign him, and maybe he gets hurt. And then if he's out, then the money's wasted and you could have got someone else, or figured something out. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But I think Patriots, between them and the Titans, obviously I would rather, even if it was like Belichick and he's going to discipline me and he might be an asshole to me, you have a better chance to win and have fun there than going to the Titans, even though they don't have anybody. It just, I feel that would be a better place, but he's looking for the elite team, but he might have to settle for the mid-tier team if another one emerges, or if he's willing to work for Doritos and Fritos, and then maybe he'll go somewhere else. So, yee, NASCAR, filler. My girl Brittany, how are you? Where's our boy Chase? Good to see you. Oh yeah, Mark Martin, legend. I mean, you just saw him, little tiny guy, a little buzz cut. You couldn't tell if he was 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 because he always acted like he was 20. And he was a damn good driver too. He was a legend for sure. Jets picked him up. They don't got an offensive line or a defense though. So it's like, yeah, you can have all these weapons, right? But again, if Rodgers doesn't have time and the offensive line fucking his booty cheeks, what are you going to do? Handing the ball off to Breece Hall. What do you want him to fucking tear another ACL? It's like everyone thinks that Rodgers is going to go there and what? Like the New York fans think that they're going to get 10, 11 wins and they're going to go to the AFC Championship game, and that's why they're on crack. Like, there's a better chance of them going 8-9 or 9-8 and missing the playoffs. But everyone has a dream, right? Dalvin Cook, the best spot for him is to go to where he wants to go. He wants to party. He wants to go back home. He wants to go to the Dolphins. He wants to go there and play with fucking Tyreek and Waddle and Tua. And if Tua's not the guy, fucking they can replace him and they'll end up getting someone else. It's just really crazy to think that they passed on Herbert and they could have had Herbert in Miami. And if Herbert was in Miami with that collection of team that they have there, you probably could make an AFC Championship game sooner than later. So, should have went for my guy, Herbert. But hopefully he gets out of the Chargers and he can play somewhere where he's appreciated. So, the rain. I know. But they wanted to give us the night vibes, bro. That's why they, night races are the best races. Jeff and Mark won. Fuck, man. 20 out of the 33 between the two of them? Holy shit. But that was one of Gordon's championship years, correct? Because I mean, obviously we know he had the 4 championships, and and then obviously when you get up into the higher range, when you're talking about Petty, Earnhardt, and Jimmy Johnson with 7, I mean that's fucking that's incredible. Yeah, hell, that would be, there we go. There we go, another weapon, dude. You're starting to build something nice. Like even if even if your boy isn't the guy at quarterback, right? Desmond Ritter. If it's someone else, like running back with Bajan, the tight end, Pitts, wide receiver, Drake London. Like you're starting now. You just got to keep beefing up the line and make that like something. Figure out the quarterback, and then you got to be able to get like Deion Jones and like these guys that you had back in the day and get a collective unit. Start building that D, so that way the Panthers don't surpass you or the Buccaneers once I get my quarterback. After we suck this year, and hopefully we end up getting Caleb or Drake May or Michael Penix Jr., and then we can compete and whatnot. But the Falcons and the Panthers are going to be having growing pains, but it'll be more exciting football for those fan bases. Saints will win the division. Tampa will be terrible. Hopefully we win no games, and then I can get the first pick in the draft. So your boy knows. But that's just me based on the articles that I've read and the stuff about D Hop. If I would like pretended in my head I'm him, like okay, at this stage of my career, I know especially he'll get overpaid, but I don't want to jinx him. But I think there would be a not necessarily a season-ending injury, but there's a very high probability if you get D Hop at this point, it's like getting a Julio Jones, where you're like, oh Julio, but you're not getting the Julio from the Falcons. You're getting busted up Julio. Except with D Hop, he won't be as busted up. He'll play and he'll be good. You just got to pray that he doesn't have a tweak in his legs or his toes or his knees. Because if he has that, then that might be 2 to 8 games, and then there's half the season gone. So, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, see your boy. So people like even though I don't do other streams as often, I still have that good knowledge from the past. So championship, yeah, championship. All right, so we got how many laps to go? We got 75 laps to go, and the rain's coming down. So we'll see when they decide to end it. Hopefully not anytime soon. Yeah, and that's why when you talk about like even with like Larson and Chase and Gordon and Jimmy and Richard Petty and Earnhardt are on another level. That's insane. 26 top 5s, 28 top 10s. And then the thing is that you say those numbers and it means something, but it doesn't really relate in context until you see the total number was 33, not 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you got 50, you're like, holy shit, Gordon, 26, top 5s out of 50 races? Wow. Right? 28 out of fucking 50, but it's fucking 26 out of 33, top 5, 28 out of 33, top 10. That is like, I don't even know what the equivalent of that is. Shohei Ohtani? Or someone in Major League Baseball in the 80s that did steroids, or Barry Bonds. I mean, that's like Barry Bonds numbers on like roids. That's crazy. It's like if like you couldn't even imagine someone doing that today, because I don't think there's anyone as dominant that could do something like that. Like Chase, will have his moments. Larson will. Ross Chastain is on his way. Joey and Kyle Busch are amazing. Logano and Kyle Busch, but even them as legends, I mean, do we really see anyone having that type of dominance? I don't think so. Shows you some of these guys are uber talented. All right, what's the lowdown? What are they saying on the broadcast? What's the weather update? Here we go. Team communications, I'm listening. Eye of the storm. Oh, so are we going kaput right now? Oh, we're getting covered up. Oh, so now we just chill and just like look at photos for a while and then hope it comes back. And then once the eye of the storm passes, they'll try to dry it. And then we have maybe one more chance for a go. And then if not, then that's it. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, right? Hopefully they continue. I want to see the end. I want to get my money's worth here on this race. So when did you find out about that? So we got William Byron, Daniel Suarez, AJ Allmendinger, Michael McDowell, and Kyle Busch. And you know what's really ironic right now, right? Remember how we had Ford dominating the whole race, like 8 out of the first 10 spots, like all race. Now it's all Chevys at the front. It's like all of a sudden this rain comes and you got 3 Chevys in the front, 4 Chevys out of the top 5, and the only one is McDowell in 4th. But then Big Bad Brad, Yaley, Blaney after him, and then a few guys after that. But that's so ironic that it just flipped like that. Like all of a sudden the rain's coming in and boom, just conveniently Chevys are in 4 in the top 5. Like what the hell happened? Ford just like took the foot off the gas pedal for just like a little bit, and now I see the rain coming down here on the broadcast. I got William Byron in the camera. Huh. I'm trying to remember if I remembered that news, like when it happened, or yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying. That's a little shocking. I'm trying to remember if I knew that already, or if that was something that maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what the probability of the race being completed is, and the probability of it actually restarting. Like, are we gonna like? I wonder how. Hopefully, we can get like like it's not going to be like something super super long. Like I hope it's not like an hour delay. Like if it ends up being like 20-30 minutes or something, even that is kind of long. But so we got Byron, Suarez, Allmendinger, McDowell, Bush, 4 Chevys out of the top 5. Then we got Big Bad Brad, JJ Yaley, Ryan Blaney, Justin Haley, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 10th. And then notable names: Chase in 13th, Logano in 17th, and that's pretty much it. Everyone else is kind of more towards the front. So, and obviously we know Ross Chastain and Larson, their days are done. So with quite a few other drivers too. Looks like what Burton, Truex Jr., Harvick, LaJoy, Custer, Gregson, Gibbs, Chastain, Larson, and Hill. But the real ones that are out earlier were Gibbs, Chastain, Larson. That sucks for Ross and for Kyle. All right, maybe I'll try to see what else is on while we're waiting for this to come through. All right, what do we got? We got Pelicans, Warriors, Hawks, Nuggets. Got the Spurs and the Blazers still, and the Celtics. I don't get to see Scoot though. But I can see a Wembenyama. A Wembenyama. I guess that's what I'm looking at right now. All right, 82-78 Blazers. 1 minute to go in the fourth. Pure. 82-80. Come on, Blazers. This would have been pretty notable if Scoot was able to play with Wemby, because then you get 2 of the top 3 picks. And I think more people are excited about Scoot rather than Miller. Miller's like a Paul George, and there's nothing wrong with that if you like Paul George. But Scoot is a different type of player, and obviously Wemby is a project at the center position. So airball, 84-80 Blazers, baby. And then if there's any updates from anybody that you see on the NASCAR side, I have that too. Just let me know, and then that way we can either decide to continue the stream, or if we have to end the stream at a certain point, or if we want to just look at a few photos and go from there. But I'm going to continue to watch a few things. Wemby for a three, no good. And then they just fouled. I mean, just seeing Wemby out on the court is interesting because he is so tall. A guy that's like 7'5", and it is weird seeing him shoot threes though. But I wouldn't be shocked if he starts, once he gains weight and learns from Duncan and from David Robinson and Pop, where he ends up being a force. I mean, he already has more potential than DeAndre Ayton. Now, are you going to be able to be as good as a Joel Embiid? I don't know, but it might take a few years. But I think that the potential is definitely there as long as he can gain weight and not get injured. So, and after this is over, maybe I'll put on a baseball game in the background or something. I'll have something on, to kind of just keep things moving. But so far, the race has been good. I've enjoyed it. All right. Well, it looks like the Blazers are about to win, so I don't need to watch the end of that. So let's find out what another event. All right. So we got Pelicans, Warriors. There's no baseball. Damn it. So Pelicans, Warriors, Hawks, Nuggets, and Celtics, Wizards. But I'm trying to think of like who I would actually want to watch out of those. Yeah, this NASCAR needs to come back on. All right, hold on here. Raindrops bring the field down to pit road. Looking to see what I can get, but hopefully they'll have some updates. All right, Warriors, Pelicans. I guess I'll just dabble into a couple. Oh, this one's almost over. Oh, that's a Blazer game. Yeah, I wish there was a baseball game that was on. I hate it when they have the baseball games end too early. So, oh wow, Griffey announced the first pick in the draft. Paul Skenes. That's awesome. Griffey read off the first pick. That's awesome. That's awesome. No, too bad there's not like a streaming thing where I can watch the. Well, maybe I. Well, I don't know. I doubt that I'd be able to. Atlanta and Denver. First quarter, 18-17. Maybe the Pelicans and the Warriors. Maybe I'll watch that one. Wemby. Now, if Scoot was playing, I would have definitely watched this whole game just to see like Scoot and Wemby kind of go at it. They're doing an interview with the Blazers. And then I got the Pelicans and Warriors on next, just as we wait for. There's no baseball games at this point, so it's just the summer league basketball, and they're just wrapping up with the Wemby Spurs and Blazers, and then hopefully they get this NASCAR. Oh, did they end it? Did they call it? No way. Did they really? Shut up. Did they really? Dude, are you serious? That's dude, good for him. That's what, 4 wins for him now? So what did they say? They just said that's it? The rain is just too much. Dude, congratulations to Byron. That's who you wanted, right? Man, that's sweet. I know for other drivers, but all the Fords were up front, and then that happened. Wow. There it is. 185 laps. Wow. Win 4. Wow. Breaking news, William Byron wins, and he's good. Win number 4. That Jeff Gordon mystique. Anybody that's in Hendrick, when you're taking over for certain numbers, and you have Jimmy in the 48 and the 24. I mean, that shit means something. It's like that legacy continues. And then you got Chase and you got, obviously Kyle Larson as well. But I feel there's pressure to be there more than anywhere else because they're used to greatness. And how ironic is it now that the number 3 guy, Bowman, has always been 4th, but this guy's always been overlooked, now is having the best season over Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. How amazing is that? Very, very cool. And he's a pretty likable guy, too. So it's not like, oh, I can't root for this guy or anything like that. So, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, obviously, for him to win the championship and already starting off with 3 wins early, if he can continue to win a few along the way, yeah, he'll definitely be the favorite towards the end. And if he does win, that'd be great for his career. It would be horrible for every other organization. But then if you're Hendrick, you got 3 champions out of 4 cars. Then what do? You pluck Ross Chastain away, and then you have a super team. But wow, and trucks, right? Yes, yes, yes. Man, pretty sweet. Well, I wish we could, I didn't know if we were going to be able to hang out any longer and whatnot, but I guess they decided it for us. That was the way to go. I enjoyed it though. I thought, it definitely had a lot of back and forth. I wish it would have went a little bit longer and whatnot, but yeah, I guess we can just call it a night, and then I'll spend some time with Paisley and whatnot and try to get some stuff done, around here. I appreciate all you guys very, very much. Hey, we didn't get the Chase Elliott win, but we ended up getting one with William Byron. So congratulations to him with a rain shortened race there in Atlanta for the Quaker State 400. Congratulations, William Byron. And I'll be back tomorrow for the Home Run Derby. And then we got the All-Star game on Tuesday. So I'll look forward to that. Thank you to everybody that donated, commented, shared, and helped us actually have a pretty successful stream. Momai's TV, Odin's son, obviously, holding it down very, very much. And we got appearances from Tom and Brittany and Shep and a few others. And Tom, I appreciate you guys very, very much. And we'll be back at it tomorrow. So, yeah, it definitely. I mean, we wanted to be able to. I wanted to finish, but I guess when the rain, what can we do? We got to wait till next week and whatnot. But I really appreciate you. I appreciate the support, the donos, and obviously you followed. I followed back. I look forward to having you here for Chief Games, as well as maybe NASCAR in the future or whenever you get bored. And it's always cool when you can meet somebody. It's a good vibe, not only for me and the host and the individual, but for the others in the room. And you have a big heart, and I really appreciate your support to the channel. Not a lot of people will do what you did today, so I appreciate you very much. Sarah, appreciate you as well, and I'll be back tomorrow. So hope you guys enjoyed that. And I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.